From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
This is Harry Branson, John.
Hi,
at
Harry.
The Philadelphia Mutual Liability and Casualty Insurance
I
Company.
said hi. How are you?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm fine, thank you. But that's beside the point. John, this thing has me terribly upset.
Comes the day you aren't upset over something, Harry. It'll be a miracle. What's it all about?
Can you come down here to Philadelphia right away?
Don't see why not. But now what seems
Believe
to
me,
be...
if you can clear up this matter, I shall be eternally grateful. $985,000.
Wow. For what, Harry?
Of course, anyone, any criminal, that is, could be suspect in the theft.
Theft of what?
But the murder, it doesn't make sense. What does it? What do you think, John?
What do I think? Look, Harry, you haven't yet given me...
What possible reason could there have been for firing the shot that...
How about the butler?
What, the butler? Of course, I never thought of that. John, what butler?
Oh, I'll be down to see you, Harry. Goodbye.
Wait. You mean you know something about this case that the police and I don't know?
I don't know anything about it yet. I'll be down to see you.
But in that case...
Goodbye, Harry.
But in that case, John, if you don't know anything about it, what leads you to suspect the butler? And what butler... John, you have me all confused.
Then that makes us even. Bye.
But, John...
So help me. If it weren't for the big fat expense account I can foist on Harry Branson, well, here we go again.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Philadelphia Mutual Liability and Casualty Insurance Company, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the ingenious jeweler matter. Expense account item 1, $32.70, train fare and incidentals, Hartford, Connecticut to Philadelphia. Cab to Harry Branson's office on Walnut Street. I found him sitting at his desk, his head in his hands.
Oh, John, I'm glad you've come.
Yeah. Well, how's your good health, Harry?
My health?
wait,
As a matter of fact, it's fine, although I did have a touch of laryngitis last week. I could hardly speak about it. John, why do you always try to take my mind away from matters at hand?
I simply asked
Particularly something as important as this.
All right. As what?
The Beaufort collection, of course.
Beaufort. Oh, yeah. Seems to me I've heard about that. Jewelry?
One of the most important small collections in the world. Why, when His Grace the Duke de Beaufort lost them to the Germans back during the First World War.
Yeah, I'm sure. But now let's get to the point.
They've been stolen. And we'd insured them for nearly $1 million.
Stolen from where?
The jeweler who owned them, J. Harold Whipsett.
Oh, hey, I've heard of him, too. Isn't he the fellow who was tagged by the Customs Department a few years ago for trying to smuggle in a lot of stuff?
Yes, the same one. But his reputation since that incident has been quite all right, completely unsullied. Oh, I must admit that I had some misgivings about issuing a policy to a man with his past record. But since he's in the clear again, and considering the premiums involved, and John, I had a long discussion with a psychiatrist about the man, about what would motivate him to...
Look, Harry, before you go rattling off on another tack...
What? John, I resent that.
Look, you said something about murder at the time of the theft?
Oh, yes. So far, however, it's only attempted murder, you see?
Of this man, Whipsett?
His secretary, Miss Winkle.
Winkle?
Perry Winkle.
Oh, now, wait. Is that some kind of a gag?
It certainly is not. At first, when they arrived, the police thought she was dead.
Well, where did all this happen?
At the Whipsett office. It's on Chestnut Street.
When did it happen?
Just last night. Oh, dear, $985,000.
And maybe a human life.
Well, yes, of course.
Now, tell me all you know about it, Harry.
Well, the Beaufort collection contains several diamond and emerald brooches that date back to, let me see.
Forget the dates. What I want to know is...
No, the fact that all the stones were rather small and of conventional cut means that once they're remounted, no one could ever identify them.
Well, what's that got to do with the date of the collection?
Well, as I started to say...
let's go over to the Whipsett's office.
Oh, very well. Now, as I started to say, the date of the Duke de Beaufort's acquisition of these jewels...
You say this Perry Winkle was badly hurt. How?
She was shot by the robber. Now, as I started to say, the date at which the Duke de Beaufort...
Tell me this. Was Whipson himself shot or shot at?
No, and I'm sure he'll tell you all about that when you see him at his office. He's certain to be in this morning. As I started to say, John...
Down, going down, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks. Come on, Harry.
Step in, please.
Harry!
As I started to say, John... John?
Whether I wanted or not, during the 9-block taxi ride up Chestnut Street, I got the whole history of the Duc de Beaufort's jewels, from the time of the French Revolution to the present. That cab, by the way, is item 2, $1 even. What I did want to know was more about J. Harold Whipson. After all, a man who'd once attempted fraud against U.S. Customs. Anyhow, we finally reached his office in the Prosser building. Present was Police Lieutenant Bart Stanley, with whom I'd worked a case 2 years ago.
Glad to see you, Johnny.
Yeah, same here, Bart. Well, what do you make of it?
So far, blanco.
Is Whipson here?
One of the boys took him down for some coffee. He needs it after what happened to him last night.
The Beaufort jewels, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, I told Mr. Dollar all about them, Lieutenant. How the robber took nothing else, how the jewels themselves came into being, how back in the
Harry,
18th...
we've got work to do here.
Well, after all...
Now, look, Bart, this man Whipson, his reputation in the past...
I know exactly what you're going to say. I might have thought the same thing, Johnny, if I hadn't seen exactly what happened.
Tell me what did happen.
Lieutenant, you look very tired.
Yes, Mr. Branson, I am.
After all, having been up all night on this thing, suppose I bring Mr. Dollar up to date.
Well, sure.
Oh, no, you don't. I want to find out now, not next week.
John.
Go ahead, Bart.
Well, Whipson and his secretary, Perry Winkle... Isn't that a name?
Yeah, sure is. Where is she, by the way?
Jefferson Hospital. Anyhow, they were here very late last night working on the books. Came a knock on the door. Whipson opened it. This man barged in with a gun and demanded the Beaufort collection.
And?
Well, Whipson argued with him, finally gave in when the guy threatened to shoot him. But Miss Winkle made a dash for the door. The intruder let her have it, held the gun on Whipson, tore out the telephone line, then locked him in and disappeared. And that's it.
Wait a minute. How could he lock Whipson in his own office? This lock opens from the inside.
With this, Johnny.
What? This little rubber doorstop?
That's right.
But I don't see...
I'll tell you how he did it, and why this little rubber wedge is absolute proof that Whipson couldn't possibly have rigged this whole deal.
Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
For a long time, people...
And now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the ingenious jeweler matter.
Look here, Johnny. This door.
What about it, Bart?
Well, this is a real old building. All the office doors open outward into the corridors. See?
So?
All right. After the robber made Mr. Whipson hand over the jewelry, he shot the secretary, Miss Winkle. Then he yanked out the telephone, beat it, and slammed the door on Whipson.
But you said locked him in, and I don't see how...
Look, with this little rubber wedge, door opens outward, right?
Don't you see, John?
Oh, wait a minute. Sure, of course I see, Bart.
Sure.
He simply jammed the doorstop under the edge of the door from the outside.
Sure. So the harder Whipson pushed against the door, the tighter it jammed. The telephone knocked out. All he could do was bang on the door and holler out the window.
That's what tipped you off?
The policeman on the beat down on Chestnut Street heard the shot and then the yelling. By a stroke of luck, I pulled up in a prowl car just about then.
I see.
We came tearing up here and found out how somebody'd locked Whipson in his own office. Whoever did it, Johnny, must have cased the joint to know about the doors opening outward.
Yeah. Makes any suspicion of Whipson himself. Well...
Yeah, it makes it look a little silly. Anyhow, he was pretty much beside himself, more upset over the girl lying there with a slug in her than he was over losing the collection.
Any idea what kind of a gun was used on her?
The hospital sent the bullet over to the lab. It was a .38 special.
And she was in pretty bad shape, huh?
Well, we thought at first she was dead. So did Whipson.
Could he give you a description of the assailant?
Yeah, but it's not much help. Could apply to 500,000 men in this big city.
What about fingerprints?
None. Guy wore gloves.
Has the girl been able to tell you anything at all?
She was unconscious, Johnny. Has been ever since. I'm afraid it's going to be curtains for her.
Oh, too bad. She's over at Jefferson, you say?
Yeah, but there's no point in going over there.
Even if she came to for only a couple of minutes, she might be able to give us something to go on.
What could she tell us that Whipsit hasn't already told us?
Well, we're back, Lieutenant. You want Mr. Whipsit to stick around?
No, I guess not, Conroy.
I took him over to a place I know on Pine Street and poured a couple of stiff drinks in him. He needed them.
And you too, Conroy?
Oh, now, Lieutenant.
Mr. Whipsit, this is Johnny Dollar, insurance investigator.
Mr. Dollar. How are you?
You know Mr. Branson, I guess.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, indeed. And may I tell you, Mr. Whipsit, how dismayed I am by what's happened here.
Thank you, Mr. Branson. It's been a terrible,
It certainly has. $985,000.
I was speaking of poor Miss Winkle, sir.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes. Mr. Whipsit, this girl, Miss Periwinkle, she was your secretary.
She was more than that, Mr. Dollar. I loved her. How is she, Lieutenant? Has there been any word from the hospital?
Well,
Yes, Mr. Whipsit, there has. And it's proof that modern medicine is a very wonderful thing.
What do you mean, sir?
Yes, John.
It may take time, of course, a long time.
Yes?
As a matter of fact, she hasn't even regained consciousness yet.
I see.
But it looks as though she'll fully recover.
Oh, I see. Well, I hardly need tell you how I feel about that. How glad I am.
I told that little white lie to see what, if any, reaction I'd get. And I had a strange feeling that his words, "how glad I am," were not quite true. Fortunately, neither Harry Branson nor the lieutenant questioned my apparent knowledge of the condition of the girl. Even better, the lieutenant rose to the occasion.
well, as I see it, there's really nothing further we can do here. You look like you could use some sleep, Mr. Whipsit. And Conroy and I'd better get back to headquarters, see if the boys have run down anybody who fits that description you gave us.
Yeah, good idea. Let's go, huh? And Mr. Whipsit, you close up and go on home and get some rest.
Yes, I will. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. You have no idea what a terrible shock this has been for me.
Of course, you'll keep yourself available if we need you further.
Oh, of course, Lieutenant.
Okay, Johnny. What was that all about? Telling him she'd recover.
Yes, John, I almost interrupted.
I was afraid you would. That's why I kept talking. Bart, I'm going over to the hospital.
Oh, now look,
If
Johnny.
there's only one chance in a million of that girl regaining consciousness, I want to be there when she does.
You still suspect Whipsit?
Did I say that?
Don't you see, John, the whole thing hinges on that little rubber doorstop. On the fact that he couldn't possibly have locked himself in with it.
Branson's right, Johnny.
Okay, then I won't go over to the hospital. Ring for the elevator, Harry.
Oh, sure. John, what will you do?
Call him on the phone down in the lobby instead.
This is Dr. Kenworthy.
This is Johnny Dollar, doctor, insurance investigator. I'm calling about Miss Periwinkle.
Oh, yes. I was about to call the police.
She's conscious now?
She died, Mr. Dollar. Less than 5 minutes ago.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Our flag, heaven.
And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the ingenious jeweler matter.
Well, what'd you find out from the hospital, Johnny?
The girl is dead about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, dear. And we've got a killer to track down. Now I'd better get on over to headquarters.
I'll phone poor Mr. Whipsit. He left the building while you were in the phone booth, John.
Bart, have you got a key to his office upstairs?
Why, sure, right here.
Let me have it, will you?
Here. You want me to go up there with you?
Why don't you go over to the hospital and see if Whipsit shows there?
What do you expect to find up in his office, Johnny?
I haven't the least idea. Why kid about it? I didn't have the least idea what I expected to find, or even what I was looking for. When I walked into the jeweler's office up on the 8th floor, I picked up the rubber doorstop. The one thing that proved Whipsit couldn't possibly have rigged the whole deal. But I somehow felt that if only that little wedge of rubber could talk. Then I noticed a funny sort of burr on one side of it. Just a tiny little rough spot. But it showed me where somebody had pierced a tiny hole through it. Why? After a couple of minutes of rummaging around, I found it. A piece of fine, strong platinum wire, about 2 feet long. A wire that could be carefully slipped through the hole in that rubber doorstop.
Well, Mr. Dollar.
Well, what are you doing back here, Whipsit?
If you don't mind my saying so, there was something about your attitude that I didn't exactly care for when you were here with the policeman and Mr. Branson. And when you left them downstairs in the lobby and took the elevator. Oh, I see you found it.
Yeah, that's right. It was very smart of you, Whipsit.
Thank you.
Put this rubber wedge on the floor, just outside the door, with the wire on it leading under the door.
Exactly.
Then pull the door closed. Then pull the wedge into place with the wire. And the door can't possibly be opened from in here. You've locked yourself in. The more you push on the door, the tighter the wedge holds it.
That's right. And you don't forget to retrieve the wire by pulling on one end of it.
I suppose those are the gloves you wore when you killed Miss Winkle, so you'd leave no prints.
Oh, then she's dead. How fortunate for me.
And that's the gun you used?
Yes. I'm afraid she was rather averse to my breaking down the Beaufort collection, melting down the mountings and secreting the stones at my home. And, of course, claiming the insurance money, but after all, nearly $1 million.
Why are you telling me all this?
Because, you see, this is also the gun that will kill you. After which I shall lock your body in this office using the doorstop again. It's a rather nice touch, don't you think?
Is it?
Well, don't you see? It's now sort of a trademark of the completely unknown thief, the unknown killer of both the girl and you.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Do you think if I found out how you did it, the police can't?
Did they, even after their lab crew spent the whole night up here?
I guess you got a point there.
Yes. Now, turn around, Dollar. Turn around.
Well?
You see, I'm going to have to shove this gun into your back to muffle the sound.
Look, Whipsit.
Unless you have a better idea.
Well, I have.
What? Oh, me. Oh, I suppose I might have known this whole thing seemed too easy. All right, Lieutenant.
All right, Conroy, wrap him up.
Right, Lieutenant. Hands out, Whipsit.
Johnny, I knew you had something up your sleeve when you came back up here.
Just wouldn't let me work it out alone, would you, Bart?
All right, what was it? What did you find out that tipped you off?
Oh, you'll never know from me.
Huh?
After all, I might want to use it to stump you sometime.
Oh, now look, Johnny.
Okay, ask Whipsit here. He just loves to explain things. At great length, too. At least it was long enough for you boys to get up here.
I know something he's not going to explain his way out of. Let's go, Whipsit.
Harry, I think I'll have to figure out some way to pad my expense account even more than usual in cases like this. I mean, where a .38 slug nearly ends up in me. After all, fun is fun, a job's a job, but some of these laddies carry things too far. Come to think of it, I'll have to run down to New York again to appear against Whipsit. So, expense account total, including that and transportation back to Hartford and all the incidentals I could possibly think of, $181 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star will return in just a moment.
With the bigger, more everywhere.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, an inventor with a device that can either save or wreck our country. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone, who also wrote today's story. Heard in our cast were Harry Bartell, Byron Kane, Vic Perrin, Joseph Kearns, and Austin Green. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Dollar, this is Fred Starkey.
Starkey?
Worldwide Mutual out here in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, sure, Fred. How are you?
Look here, Dollar, if you're free for a couple of days, I'd like to have you come on out here.
Oh, what's it all about?
Mrs. George Hemingway Tilford. Ever hear of her?
Tilford? No, I don't think so.
Pretty wealthy. Especially since a fire a few months ago. It destroyed a big lumber yard that her husband left to her. And Dollar, she wants to see you right away.
Did she tell you why?
No, she's being very mysterious about it.
Something to do with that lumberyard fire, I suppose.
Well, she simply wouldn't say, but she insists on having you come out to see her.
Well, as long as your company won't quibble over the expense account.
Yes, I guess we're stuck for it.
Plus my usual fee, of course.
Well, now, that depends on what you mean by usual.
Let's talk about it when I get there.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Worldwide Mutual Insurance Company, Columbus, Ohio office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the loss by a hair matter. Expense account item 1, 4175, plane fare from Hartford to New York to Columbus, Ohio. It was after 2 a.m. when the big Silver Bird dropped me off at Port Columbus Airport. Item 2, 250 for a taxi into the Deschler Hilton. There was no time to rouse Fred Starkey out of bed, so item 3, 1420 for a nightcap, a comfortable room there in the hotel, and the kind of brunch late the next morning. So late, as a matter of fact, that I had to wait for Starkey to come back from his lunch before I could see him at the office of Worldwide Mutual. See him and ask him questions.
Sorry, Dollar, but she just won't say.
Yeah, well, now look, Fred, I like to know something about a case I've come this far to handle.
I'm not even sure there's a case here.
Well, you told me that she owned a big lumber yard that had burned down some months ago.
Exactly 9 weeks ago.
All right, how much insurance?
Dollar, it was a total loss. It cost the company $330,000.
Wow, wait.
Fortunately, it was underinsured.
Underinsured?
Well, these days, the ground alone out there is worth that much.
Out where?
It's near Minerva Park.
Arson by any chance?
No. No sign of it whatsoever.
She, possibly need the money?
Hardly. Her husband left her over $250,000 in securities when he died a couple of years ago.
No. Nothing suspicious at all, huh?
Except that suspicious mind of yours. Now, listen, Johnny, I didn't say her wanting to see you has anything to do with that fire. That was your idea. Maybe she just wants to look at you. A great admirer of yours, I understand.
Oh, sure.
Well, do you always expect to find arson, fraud, or murder, some sort of crime whenever somebody calls on you?
No, not always. Well, that's the way it usually turns out.
But don't you see, if this had something to do with her insurance, she would have said as much.
But if it hasn't, why did she ask for me?
Well, I told you.
You told me what?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why she wants to see you, but I'm willing to bet that it has nothing to do with that fire.
$500?
$500.
Huh. Fred, how do I get there? Item 4, a $50 deposit on a rental car, and I drove north on Cleveland Avenue, that's Route 3, to the pleasant little town of Minerva Park. The Tilford home, while not a mansion, was a large stone and stucco affair with plenty of trees and well-kept lawns. All in all, a real nice place in good condition.
Yes? Oh!
The surprise was the widow Tilford. In her middle 60s, I guess, but with a sparkle in her eye that made you feel she ought to be 25 years younger. She was dressed in well-tailored sport clothes. Her hair was gray, but cut in a short bob. And her subtle use of makeup made her look like a million.
Johnny Dollar.
Mrs. Stilford?
That's right. And, Johnny, I'm such a fan of yours and that radio program that I hear every Sunday on WBNS that, well, I'll break down and confess that about a year ago I wrote and asked for your picture.
Oh?
And you wrote me the nicest letter when you sent it.
Oh, of course. Grace Stilford.
That's right. And when you started off the letter with Dear Grace, why, it made me feel almost young again.
You know something? I think you are pretty young, Mrs. Stilford.
Oh, one look at you, Johnny, and I wish I was. But with this old heart of mine hitting on only about one cylinder... Come in.
Yeah, sure.
And now listen. We're going to bypass the living room and sneak into the library.
Sneak in?
Yes. So that we can talk alone for a little while. You see, your 3 suspects are there in the living room. You see?
Just, what do you mean by suspects?
Right in here, Johnny, and they won't disturb us.
Okay.
Now, sit down and be comfortable.
Thanks.
Now, Johnny, I suppose you're curious about why I sent for you.
Yeah, well, according to Fred Starkey, it's all a big mystery.
Oh, mystery's right. Was right. But, Johnny, I've solved it.
Oh?
Yes. The mystery of why my lumberyard burned down a few weeks ago.
You mean it was set?
That's exactly what I mean. I had no proof in the beginning, no reason to think it was set, but I have now.
By whom, Mrs. Stilford?
Oh, I wish you'd call me Grace, Johnny, just to flatter me a bit.
Okay, sure. But who set the fire? All right. You said 3 suspects out there in the living room.
That's right. Would you like to go in and meet them? And then pick out the one it is?
You say that one of those 3 people sitting out there in the living room set that lumberyard fire.
Yes, Johnny, and I collected $330,000 on it after all. The police and firemen had found nothing to indicate arson.
Oh, believe me, it's hard to spot in a fire like that.
Then I got to thinking about those 3, about how each of them could profit by it.
Possible that all 3 could have had a hand in it?
Oh, those 3 get together on anything, trust each other. Oh, never.
Okay, then.
Then a couple of days ago, I learned something. Proof that one of them did it.
Which one?
Well, if I know you, you're clever enough to find out.
But if you already know, and suppose the one who did it knows that you know.
Oh, not a chance. Oh, this I don't think there is. And at least none of them has made any move against
But
me.
if one of them... you'd better tell me which one.
Well, now, John. Do you ever tell who's the guilty one on your radio program right at the beginning?
Oh, now, let's face it, this is a little bit different. If you're holding out just for the sake of a big dramatic climax.
Oh, well, yes and no.
Oh, come on. Now, listen, Miss Telford.
Grace.
All right, Grace. But now, please, listen to me.
You listen, Johnny. I said I have proof, but I have to be absolutely sure. And there's where you can not only help me, but you'll know exactly how to proceed, how to take him in, or her, without danger to the rest of us.
Listen, will you? If the guilty one knows that you know, you might be in pretty serious danger.
Even with you around?
Yes, even with me around.
Well, I'm simply not going to tell you until you've met them and drawn your own conclusions.
Okay, then let's get in it.
All right. The middle-aged man is Harry W. Shelder, my husband's business manager before he passed on. He's not only very clever, but his sole interest in life is in money.
I see.
He did very well for my husband, but I've always felt he was really looking out for himself.
But why set off the lumberyard?
Because replaced by homes and stores and supermarkets that could be worth millions, he said.
Ah, and you refused to do that?
Yes. The lumber company had been in our family for generations. Gave me all the money I could want, so I wouldn't change it.
But if it just happened to burn to the ground?
Exactly. All of my objections would be wiped out.
Uh-huh. Then if he's the
Now,
one...
Wait, Johnny. Then there's Michael Tilson.
Well, the younger man I noticed in there.
Our adopted son. After college, business college, he tried to make his way, but not very successfully. Actually, he's been living on our bounty the past few years.
A ne'er-do-well, Grace?
Oh, well, he's not very good at anything. His ideas for that property aren't so ambitious as Harry Shelder's, but He's wanted me to sell it out to one of the development companies. And why? Because my husband's will provided that in the event of my death, he'd get half the income from it.
I see.
Mm-hmm. So he was bitterly opposed to my keeping it as a lumberyard.
Well, motive for one, motive for two. And who's the third? The girl I saw there.
Nancy Willard, my niece. Ever since her parents died, quite penniless, by the way, we've taken care of her. It's simply out of pity, Johnny, not love. And, although I may change it now, she's heir to the bulk of my estate.
Yeah. Well, offhand, I'd say that Michael is the least suspect of the three. Let's go talk to them.
But I'll leave you alone with them. I want to clean up before dinner and wash my hair. It's a mess.
Looks great to me.
What? Like this?
Okay. You gals have to have something to fuss about, I suppose. Now, let's go in and see those folks. Under the circumstances, there was nothing I could do but play along with her little game, her dramatic little mystery matter. But not for too long. On the excuse she had to go up and wash her hair, she left me with them there in the living room. And what a trio.
As I've told you half a dozen times now, Dollar, Mrs. Tilford hasn't long to live. According to her doctor, not more than 5 or 6 years at the most. Don't you see what I mean?
Maybe, Mr. Shelter. Go on.
As long as she's alive and lets me handle things, she can make millions with that property.
And you?
Well, of course, I get a percentage of the capital gains I achieve for her.
And I say those fancy plans of yours are too much of a gamble, Harry.
Just wait,
I
Michael.
say play it safe. Let somebody else take the risk. That's all. Then all we have to do is... all Mother has to do is sit by and share in the profit.
A small share instead of all the profit.
With you running things, I'd want a pretty good accounting, Harry.
You think you could handle a project like I have in mind?
One like I have in mind. Nothing to it.
I wouldn't trust your judgment or you, as a matter of fact.
Oh, now stop it, kids. What kind of people will Johnny Dollar think we are? Sorry, Johnny.
Oh, I find this all very interesting, Nancy.
Don't you see, Dollar? Listen to me.
No, you listen, Michael. Every time we get together this way, it's the same old thing. I've said it before, and I say it again. Let Auntie Grace handle things her own way.
Of course. You're well provided for without even having to lift a finger.
That's right, Harry. I'm not one of the hired help.
Nancy, I resent that.
But she does have a point there.
Sure, so go ahead and resent, but... Oh, now, look, it's cocktail time, so let's have Haskell bring in the drinks and talk about other things, or just get quietly loaded. Haskell! This is Haskell!
There's no reason why one of us can't bring us.
Don't bother, Harry.
Yes? You called to me, miss?
Bring in the portable bar and plenty of ice cubes.
Yes, Mum. I'll be after getting it for you right away.
Where's my aunt?
About to get under the hairdryer last time I was up the stairs.
Tell her to come down and join us.
Yes, Mum, that I will.
And while we're waiting, let's try to be civil to each other.
To say I didn't particularly like these three would be an understatement. And I could picture any one of them having set that fire. For the next few minutes, they simply sat and glared at each other until we heard Mrs. Haskell come running clumsily down the stairs.
Miss Nancy, Mr. Shelter, Mr. Michael.
Haskell, I thought you were going to bring...
Haskell, what's the matter?
It's Mrs. Tilford up there in her room.
Well?
She's dead.
Mrs. Tilford, there in her bedroom, had died alone. Apparently, she'd been sitting under a hairdryer, then simply fallen to the floor, the big professional-looking machine falling beside her. Fortunately, the heating coils had apparently broken before they could set fire to anything. A big hunk of suspicion started building up at the back of my head. But then Dr. Taylor came and pronounced it death from a heart attack.
And yet I must confess I certainly didn't... Well, she took such good care of herself. I was certain she'd live on for several years. Well, I'll go downstairs and make up my report and arrange to have the body taken care of.
Well, we won't have to argue about the handling of her affairs anymore. Unless, of course, the court lets me act as executor of her estate. In which case, I warn you...
Harry, how can you be so callous about it?
Oh, the poor dear darling.
Oh, shut up, Haskell.
But Michael's right, Harry.
Oh, sure. I suppose you two are heartbroken about her dying like this.
Alone. She died all alone up here.
Quit.
While we were downstairs trying to pick her apart like a bunch of vultures, in spite of the way she treated all of us.
What do you mean by that, Mike?
We got so much better than we deserved, that's what I mean. All three of us. Harry, never bothering to see her, to come here and be nice to her. just parked in his office in town, juggling figures to get as much out of her as he could.
Michael, I resent...
I don't care if you do. Heaven only knows how much you've cheated her since Father died.
Only your foster father, remember?
And Nancy, sitting around here, sponging off her, sweet-talking her, waiting for her to die.
Look who's talking. With all the things she's done for you, Michael, you haven't even had the decency to come and visit her now and then.
Yes, I know.
When was the last time you were here? A month ago, 6 weeks ago, the last time that Harry was here.
Is that true, Mike?
Yes, Mr. Dollar, I'm afraid
But
it
you
is.
didn't hesitate to accept the money she kept sending you.
At least I tried to make my own way.
Oh, sure. Big, ambitious little Michael.
Well, what
baby.
have you done for us?
At least I've stayed here these past few weeks and gone through the motions of being nice to her, kept her company, helped her with her clothes, fixed her hair for her, and, well...
Is that true, Mrs. Haskell?
Yes, sir.
Fixed her hair for her. Big deal.
Miss Nancy even bought her that big hair-drying machine.
Oh.
And the poor dear loved it so she was washing her hair 3 and 4 times a week.
Now, what's that got to do with what
Wait a
we're
minute.
discussing?
That's right. If it hadn't been for this crazy
Wait, don't-
machine, she would have been downstairs where we might have... Oh,
Wait.
Well, don't take it out on the hairdryer,
I said,
Michael.
wait a minute. My brain was fairly spinning. A news item in the New York papers less than a month ago. A freak accident, 1 in a million at a beauty parlor. A professional hairdryer machine, exactly like the one lying here on the floor. There'd been pictures of it, sketches, to show exactly what had happened. A tiny wire had come loose, had shocked the customer so badly that she'd lost consciousness. There'd been a big noise over it. And now here was Mrs. Tilford, a little frail old lady with a heart condition. Yeah.
What is it, Mr. Dollar?
Yes, Johnny. What's that funny look supposed to mean?
Plenty. Mrs. Haskell, did you ever help Mrs. Tilford with this machine?
Oh, jeez, I'd never even touched that contraption of the devil, sir.
Dollar, this old biddy wouldn't even let Mrs. Tilford install an electric stove. But I failed to...
Listen, when was this thing purchased?
Why, about 3 weeks ago, I still have the bill for it in my office. Another of Nancy's little tricks gave it to Mrs. Tilford as a gift, but charged it to her account. But I failed to see...
3 weeks ago. So when I find the wire on it, it was cut instead of simply broken off when it fell.
Mr. Dollar?
Yeah, and I'm glad you didn't kick this thing anymore, Mike. You see it here? When she clamped this thing on her head, this wire touched her wet scalp.
Oh, now, just... Good heavens.
Then when she turned on the switch, well, that was it. Harry, you haven't been here for weeks.
Well, I know, but I...
Nor have you, Michael. And Mrs. Haskell was afraid to touch the thing. Well...
Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy. You were here, Nancy. And a few weeks ago, when you read in the papers how one of these machines might...
No!
Heaven preserve us!
Oh, put it down, Nancy.
No. I'll kill you. I'll kill all of you. Sure, I did it, but nobody will ever know because none of you will be alive.
That's where you're wrong, Nancy!
Michael! All right, Nancy.
No! Let go of me!
Sorry.
Learned a little lesson in clean living from this, Harry?
Yes. Yes, Dollar. I'll call the police.
So Nancy's wild shot busted one of his ribs, but Michael recovered. Nancy, I don't know what the penalty for murder is in Ohio, but believe me, she'll find out the hard way. As for the estate, well, that's up to the courts, too. No doubt much of what might have been Nancy's share will go to the company for that payment on the fire. Expense account total, including the trip back to Hartford, $162.70. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, a night in Paris that brings me fun, romance, and a quick brush with that old character known as Death. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Ellen Cleve, Shirley Mitchell, Ben Wright, Sam Edwards, Harry Bartell, and Lawrence Dobkin. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Jim Matthews speaking.
Johnny Dollar.
Dollar, this is Peter H. Fillmore at the Office of Surety Mutual Insurance Limited here in Denver.
Mr. Fillmore.
Dollar, I want you out here. I've just uncovered a racket that has been costing our company a lot of money.
What kind of a racket?
Robberies, grocery store robberies, whole series of them.
What's being taken, cash or goods?
Cash, on Saturday nights, with most discouraging regularity. But, Dollar, with all the facts I can give you, well, I see no reason why you shouldn't be able to round up the gang that's doing this in short order.
You think there's a gang involved?
That's my conclusion, and I'm certain you'll agree with it when I give you the information I have.
I see.
Which means there may be some danger involved in this investigation.
Oh, that's the understatement of the week.
However, I understand you're quite used to that sort of thing.
Oh?
And in view of the importance to our company of putting a stop to these robberies, of bringing the criminals to justice...
Now, Mr. Fillmore...
Well, we shan't quibble over your expense account, or even any extraordinary expenses you may incur.
Now, look.
And, Dollar, there will also be the customary fee. The commission for any recovery of actual money you may be able to effect.
Listen, would you please?
More than ample compensation, I would say, for the fact your own life may be endangered. So, Dollar...
Mr. Fillmore,
Dollar, I'll expect you out here on the first possible plane flight. Goodbye, sir.
Huh? Oh, sure. Goodbye. Maybe forever, huh?
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Surety Mutual Insurance Limited, Denver office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Saturday night matter. After including an extra box of 38 shells in my luggage, I spent item 1, $77, plane fare, Hartford to Denver, Colorado. Item 2 is $1.95 for a cab to the office of Surety Mutual and Mr. Peter H. Fillmore.
Here in Denver? No, Dollar. All over the state. In a regular pattern. A pattern that has finally, today, enabled me to realize there's a connection between these robberies.
Well, you better tell me all about it, Mr. Fillmore.
Well, in the first place, you must understand that insurance against loss of actual cash, well, not many companies issue it. Without limit, that is.
So I understand.
However, since virtually all of our accounts are the commercial type, you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah, I think so. Instead of individual life and home policies, endowments, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Manufacturing plants, merchandising organizations, that sort of thing. Including a great many stores, both large and small, including 50 or more grocery stores, supermarkets.
I see.
Dollar, it was my own idea to insure them against unlimited loss by robbery. And I must say it's increased our number of clients considerably.
Yeah, I think so. But don't the premiums for that kind of protection have to come pretty high?
Oh, very high. As a result, the company has shown a very nice profit over the past couple of years. But, of course, if these robberies continue...
Yeah, you say there's been a definite pattern to them.
Yes. To begin with, Dollar, every one of them has occurred on a Saturday night.
When the markets are likely to have more cash on hand than usual, huh?
Exactly.
How many robberies have there been?
So far, 8.
Well, that's about time you were catching up with them.
Exactly.
So, on with the pattern.
The robbers have forced their way in at gunpoint, just as the owner, alone, was about to lock up and leave. In each case, there have been 2 of them, wearing nylon stockings over their faces by way of disguise. One of them, tall and husky, the other one, short and thin. That's about as much description as we've been able to learn from the store owners. And don't forget, Dollar, there's been no real coordination of police effort in these robberies.
Because they've all occurred in different towns.
Exactly. And that brings us to the important part of the pattern, which I only realized this morning. Whereupon I called you immediately.
Well?
The first was right here in Denver. The next in Pueblo, then Colorado Springs, Aurora, Lakewood, Englewood, Greeley. Last Saturday, a week ago tonight, the Casey Market over in Boulder was robbed. True to pattern.
I'm afraid I don't quite see it.
Well, Denver, the largest city in the state. Then Pueblo, the next largest.
I'll take your word for it.
Then Colorado Springs, next in size to Pueblo. Then Aurora.
And so on down the line?
Exactly, Dollar. Exactly.
And the last robbery was in Boulder?
Just a week ago. So there may be another one tonight.
All right. If you know the population of the various towns in the state as well as you seem to, you ought to be able to tell me where they'll go next, whether it's tonight or next Saturday or whenever.
That's just the trouble.
What?
Until I get the latest population figures, well, I don't know. It'll be either in Wheat Ridge, barely northwest of Denver here, or in Grand Junction.
How far away is that?
Some 260 miles.
Oh, great.
Now, the last figures I have show 18,014 in Wheat Ridge, 18,021 in Grand Junction. But that may have changed by now.
And there's no way of checking?
Not before tonight, when there may be another robbery. Yet somehow you must decide on one of those towns and be there to prevent it.
I must decide.
Of course. And I'm certain you realize how important your decision is.
Oh, sure.
Very well, then, Dollar. Which is it? Wheat Ridge or Grand Junction? Well, come on, man. There isn't much time.
Well, let me see if I have a quarter in my pocket. Yeah, here we are.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Pretty important decision, huh?
It certainly is.
Okay, then. Heads, I go to Wheat Ridge. Huh? Tails, I go to Grand Junction.
What?
Can you think of a better way?
Talk about best-selling records. Here's a familiar tune about America's best-selling filter cigarette, Winston. Winston gives you real flavor, full, rich tobacco flavor. And you know, that's because only Winston has filter blend up front. Choice, flavorful tobaccos, specially selected and specially processed for filter smoking. No wonder Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should. Smoke Winston.
And now, Act Two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Saturday Night Matter.
Now, Dollar, do you mean to say you think you can determine which city this gang of grocery store robbers will hit by the flip of a coin? This is ridiculous.
I asked you, can you think of a better way? Well?
All right, Dollar.
Okay, then.
But don't you see, if you go to Wheat Ridge, they strike in Grand Junction.
Be kind of too bad, wouldn't it?
Exactly. We'd have to pay off another big insurance claim. Perhaps thousands of dollars. And, Dollar, I'd hold you responsible.
Me?
Yes.
Responsible for what, Mr. Fillmore?
Huh?
And I take it you're Johnny Dollar.
Now, look here, Dollar,
right?
this is the most...
Easy, PH.
Dollar, this is Albert Berry, my assistant.
How are you, Johnny?
Al?
Albert is the one who really built up this plan of mine for insuring the stores against loss of cash.
I see.
And if you want my opinion, PH, and I've said this before, we'd better stop issuing any more such policies right away.
No.
Cancel those that are outstanding. Give them a rebate and forget this whole thing.
No, Albert. Admit that we're beaten by a bunch of crooks? You know I wouldn't.
Yes, I know you wouldn't. But I still think you should. If we have to face any more of these losses...
Let me worry about the losses. You just keep running up your nice big commissions on those policies and be glad you're getting them.
No, sir.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I won't let you. PH.
Well?
PH, I'd rather leave the company than have to continue feeling responsible as I do.
Responsible? For what?
Don't you understand, sir? I'm the one who sold the policies. And if any more of these robberies occur...
Oh, don't worry, my boy. They won't. Thanks to my perceptive mind, little ingenuity, my own deductions... Dollar here is going to put a stop to them.
Well, I knew you were sending for Mr. Dollar, but how will you know where the gang plans to operate next?
Well, of course he will. At least, well...
Very easy, Al. Look here.
What?
Tails. Okay, that means that I'm about to head for,
Yes? Where?
Dollar, good heavens,
Just
man.
keep your shirt on, Mr. Fillmore.
What if these criminals...
If they hit the other town on the list, they won't stand a chance of getting away with it there either.
How can you be sure?
Just leave it to me, huh?
Dollar.
Now, I'll see you later. I gotta get busy. The coin had come up tails. That meant I was to head for Grand Junction. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but that's the way it was. Since it was afternoon, I'd have to make good time to get there before dark. So, expense account item $350 deposit on a rental car. But first I drove to Wheat Ridge, to the police headquarters there. I talked with the Sergeant Keesley.
Oh, sure. The supermarket's just a couple of blocks south of here. You must have passed it.
Yeah, I did.
Well, don't worry, Dollar. If they hit again tonight and that's their target, they won't stand a chance. We'll have that place so well covered.
Good.
Well, now, wait. What if they pick Grand Junction? You want me to phone the boys in the department over there?
No, that won't be necessary. I'm heading on over there right now.
Good. That's better than me trying to explain this complicated pattern you've stumbled on.
Yeah.
Your man there in Grand Junction is Lieutenant Dick Speidel.
Okay.
You tell him you've talked to me, and he'll do anything you want.
Good.
He's a nice, cooperative guy, and he knows his way around.
First, we can't be sure they'll operate again tonight. Maybe they'll skip a week.
We'll still be ready for them if they follow their pattern. So will the boys in Grand Junction.
Okay. Thanks, Sergeant. I'll be in touch. I picked up Route 6 and headed on west. Fortunately, the traffic was light, and I made good time over the broad winding highway. And I'll say this, it's a mighty beautiful drive through that country. More than once I spotted clear, cold streams where I knew darn well there were plenty of fighting trout to be taken during the season. And maybe with luck, I'll be able to go back someday and wet a line, there in the shadow of one of the imposing mountain peaks. I stopped at Glenwood Springs long enough to gas up and grab a sandwich. That's item 4, 5 1/4. Then drove on, hoping an early sunset wouldn't spoil the view of the scenery. But you know something? Keeping at that scenery was my undoing. Yeah, too much attention to it had caused me to disregard another car on the road following me. And it finally caught up with me at the beginning of a short detour, only a few miles from Grand Junction, about where Asbury Creek joins the Colorado River. The highway was wet from the melted snow. It slowed down to cross a narrow temporary wooden bridge when the other car pulled up to me, then swung into my left rear and threw me into a skid. Hey, what the devil?
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment.
Meet star Stuart Irwin.
Nothing's worse for an actor than a nasty cold. To feel better quickly, I take wonderful 4-way cold tablets, the fast way to relieve cold distress.
Right. Tests of all the leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting. 4-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
Take my advice. For your next cold, take 4-way cold tablets, the fast way to relieve those cold miseries.
4-way, only 29 cents.
And now here's a word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. Had dandruff for years? Now get rid of it in 3 minutes with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep unsightly dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair. Rub in 1 minute. Add water, lather 1 minute. Then rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch, embarrassing dandruff's gone. Fitch can also leave hair up to 35% brighter. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today. And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Things were a little vague after my car got pushed off the road on the way into Grand Junction. I remember lying there in the wreckage, cold, terribly cold, but unable to move. Then the state highway patrolman who came along pulled me out from under the steering post, and I remember passing out again when the warmth inside their car hit me. I remember being wheeled along on a stretcher through a long corridor, the smell of antiseptics, then the sight of a hand with a hypo in it poised above my left arm.
Nothing but shock, I'm certain of it. This will help him to sleep. And in a few hours, he should
After that, a soft, warm, comforting darkness. Oblivion. Then, when I finally came to and there was sunlight streaming in through the hospital window...
Just take it easy, Dollar.
What?
Take it easy and get some rest, and you'll be all okay. I'm Lieutenant Dick Speidel.
Oh, Lieutenant.
Sergeant Keesley over at Wheat Ridge called about you.
Yeah, well,
Just
look,
wanted to make sure everything was all right over here. You're in Grand Junction, you know.
Did they nab the gang behind the market robbery last night, was it?
No trouble at all over there. Nothing happened. But I sure wish you hadn't skidded off the road before you could get
Listen,
to me.
there was another car. It came up behind me.
Yeah, I know. So far, we haven't been able to get a lead on it.
What if they didn't hit the market over there?
Yeah, Dollar. It was the Bluebird supermarket right down the street from here. Over $3,000.
Yeah? Well?
A set of tire marks, same as from the car that ran you off the road, but that's all.
Oh.
Except for one thing.
What's that? What?
Now, look, you're in no shape to worry about this thing now.
You said except for one
Doc says
thing.
You need a lot of rest.
What is it?
But when you're up and around
What is
again,
it, Lieutenant?
Well, when Barnaby Schultes came out here from the west and opened that market...
Yeah?
Well, always when somebody comes here with a lot of money, I run a check on him.
And?
Schultes has a record of stock manipulations of phony bankruptcies across the country as long as your arm.
Sure. So when his market gets robbed after he's made sure of collecting a lot of insurance for it...
Worth thinking about, isn't it?
Oh, you bet your sweet
So
life.
you lie here quietly and think about it, Dollar.
Oh, wait a minute,
and
Lieutenant.
in case you're thinking about getting out of here and doing something about it before
Now,
you're okay again...
listen, will you...
Well, it just happens I have a man outside the door to see that you don't. Not until the doc says you can.
Lieutenant!
You take care of yourself.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips. It's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos, corn chips. Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
Fritos are the perfect after-school or between-meal snack. Golden chips of corn just made to munch. A nutritious treat for children and grown-ups alike. Fritos corn chips are full of such good, crisp flavor, such good-for-you nourishment. There's contentment in every munch.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
Whenever you want good munching, get Fritos corn chips. Whenever you want to add zip to a lunchbox, to salad, soup, or sandwiches, serve Fritos corn chips. They're America's favorite. Golden chips of corn just made to munch. Fritos, Fritos corn chips.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
Now, Act 4 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Early the next morning, I was out of the hospital and back in Denver at the office of Peter Fillmore. I was sure I had a lot of the answers to this case and told him so.
Yes, go on, Dollar.
Well, sure, it's an open invitation to robbery. Well, don't you see, the market owners could arrange these robberies themselves. Not only collect the insurance, but get a cut on whatever was taken.
Good heavens.
Yeah, sure. And look, didn't you tell me the owners couldn't seem to come up with a very good description of the crooks? Couldn't or wouldn't?
They've done it themselves. Every man has a price.
No, that isn't the answer. Well, not all of it. Each one of them arranging himself wouldn't account for a whole string of them in various different towns. So it means that somebody's been getting to them, that somebody's been running a robbery ring.
But that means... Why, don't you see, Dollar? That means the ringleader must be someone who knows exactly which of the markets has bought this type of insurance from us.
To quote you, Mr. Fillmore, exactly. So you'd better start thinking of somebody right here in your own office.
Exactly?
Sure.
No, I mean...
You mean exactly, because he could clean up on this operation both ways. By getting a nice fat commission on all the policies that he sold.
But the only
and then
man...
by arranging the robberies, then taking a cut on them.
But good heavens, I simply can't believe that...
Al Berry. Collecting both ways. Real smart about it, too. He told you he wanted you to give up this silly insurance. But he knew that you wouldn't.
Albert.
But even if you did, he wouldn't care. Because he's already cleaned up enough to walk out of here a rich man.
And you'd better not move, either one of you.
Albert.
Well, hi, Al.
I heard everything, Dollar.
Good for you.
You shouldn't have made it so obvious that you went through my files before I got here this morning.
Well, now, that's right, I did. To see how your list of policies compared with the markets that have been held up. It was a dead giveaway, Al.
Was it?
I mean, you're pulling those jobs in the same order as the insurance you sold. Starting with the biggest accounts in the biggest towns and working on down. Pretty stupid, Al.
All right, Dollar.
Oh, no.
Ever seen a gun with a silencer?
Now, look, don't be silly, please. Do you think I'd be foolish enough to have come over here alone, knowing what I know about this?
What are you talking about?
The police. What else?
Oh, sure. Standing right outside the door, waiting.
That's right.
Don't try to be cute, Dollar. It won't work. Huh? That's right. No, now, listen, Sergeant.
Just relax, Al. Enough to let that thing drop out of your hand. Gently.
Thanks, Sergeant. Sure. In the hope it might make things easier for him, Al produced the punks who'd been working with him, who'd actually pulled the jobs. And then he came up with most of the dough from the robberies. But you know something? I doubt if it'll do him any good, nor the store owners who'd played along with him. Expense account total, including hospital bill on the ride back to Hartford, $30101. And I'll leave the car that was wrecked to you. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star will return in just a moment.
Constipation is something people don't talk much about, but it can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Now, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say.
A laxative should be effective, gentle, close to natural acting. A medicine that can be used with complete confidence.
Well, pleasant-tasting chocolated X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is so gentle, so close to natural acting, there's no upset. That's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity gently, overnight.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's program.
Next week, down to Sarasota, Florida, to a case of the almost perfect crime. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Bartlett Robinson, James McCallion, Forrest Lewis, and Russell Thorson. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is John Wall speaking.
This is the CBS Radio Network.
This is Jim Amici, and this is 1960. Experts say it'll mark the beginning of the world's most productive years, a boom time, years of plenty. Well, that's good news for us in America, but let's remember that there are still millions in this small world who do not have enough to eat. People who need shelter, people who need medicines, people who need a kindly helping hand. So it's time to give like 60. This is the week of the Catholic Bishops' Relief Fund Drive, a time to renew the treasury of the worldwide organization which last year helped 40 million people in 40 different countries. This year there's a new magic in giving. Every dollar you contribute to the Bishops' Fund releases $30 worth of stockpiled surplus supplies. Give now. Help the hungry and homeless overseas. Give through your local Catholic church or Bishop's Relief Fund, Empire State Building, New York. It's a small world. Let's make it a better one.
Radio 59, Albany, New York. WROW, the Tri-Cities #1 station for news.
Johnny Dollar.
Dollar. My name is Hal Barker, Tri-Western Life Insurance Company.
Out in Los Angeles, California.
No, I'm holding down the branch office here in Reno, Nevada.
Well, made a change, huh?
That's right.
Well, how are you, Mr. Barker, and what can I do for you?
Are you available for an assignment? Can you fly on out here right away?
I don't see why not, as long as you're willing to pay the freight.
Good.
Yeah, you mind telling me what it's all about?
Well, not at all. One of our clients, a man named Walter Bisbee, has just died in a mining accident over near Virginia City.
Virginia City, the famous old ghost town, huh?
That's right. But now listen.
Yeah?
I don't think it was.
Was what, Mr. Barker?
Well, I don't think it was any accident.
Oh, you don't, huh?
No, and believe me, I don't say that just in the hope of not having to pay double indemnity on his insurance.
Why do you say it?
Well, I have no proof, Dollar, no proof at all. But I'm convinced that Walter Bisbee was murdered. That I know who murdered him and why.
Well, tell me more, Mr. Barker.
Fly on out here to Reno, and I will.
I'll grab the first plane I can.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Tri-Western Life Insurance Company, Reno, Nevada office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Stope of Death matter. Expense account, item 1, $176.25, a jet to Los Angeles. Item 2, $32.70 for the flight to Reno, Nevada. Hal Barker met me at the airport, and we headed south on 395, then southeast on 17 toward Virginia City. Virginia City, by far the largest and most famous of the old mining towns of the West, with its quaint, colorful streets and fascinating buildings left over from the days when the Comstock Lode was the richest silver strike the world had ever known. Where it didn't take much imagination to visualize the grizzled old characters with burrow and pick and shovel who roamed the desert hills in a stubborn search for gold-bearing quartz, who worked and fought and often died violently to keep others from getting their hands on the precious yellow metal, and who finally realized that the heavy blue mud they'd been discarding was the real bonanza, was loaded with rich silver ore. Yeah, you could almost see their ghosts walking the streets or stopping for a drink at the fabulous Crystal Bar or the lowly Bucket of Blood Saloon, depending on their luck. During the 23-mile ride over to this fascinating historical spot, Hal Barker filled me in.
Yeah, thanks to modern methods, modern tools of the trade, so to speak, Walter Bisbee and his partner did fairly well, Dollar.
Uh-huh.
They'd explore these old abandoned mines around here, supposedly all worked out, and they'd locate new ore strata that would pay off. Like I say, with modern, efficient recovery methods that weren't even known about during the gold rush days.
Yeah, like the big petroleum companies have found ways to get more oil out of wells the old-timers thought were pumped dry.
That's it exactly. And Bisbee and Hargrave would locate these profitable veins and take a royalty from whoever worked them. They'd go off and hunt for another spot. They made no fortune, but, well, they did pretty well. For a while, at least.
Hey, you said Hargrave, Bisbee's partner, Hal?
That's right, Bill Hargrave. Each of them claimed he couldn't do the job without the help of the other, so we wrote a partnership policy for them.
How much?
Upon the death of either one, the other was to receive $35,000. Double that for accidental death.
And now Bisbee is dead. Want to tell me just how it happened, Hal?
Well, the old mine where it happened is up here just off the 6-mile road, the old Caterwall number 2.
Caterwall number 2? That's the name of a mine?
Yeah, well, you should hear the name of some of them. Anyhow, old Bill left Walter at the mine a couple of days ago, exploring one of the stopes, while he drove into Carson City for supplies.
Uh-huh.
When Bill finally got back here to the Caterwall, he says he found the ceiling of the stope had collapsed.
Hey, wait a minute. He says. Why do you put it that way, Hal?
According to a state geologist I talked to early this morning, a man who knows the mine, has been inside of it many times, there was no reason in the world why it should have happened. Unless somebody helped it to.
Oh?
Well, that set me to thinking about the bad luck Bisbee and Hargrave have been having lately. And about how much it would benefit either one of them to have the other one die. Especially accidentally, on account of the double indemnity clause in that insurance policy.
Oh, well, now, Hal, that's...
And then, when the geologists found where somebody had planted a charge of nitro...
Well, are they holding Bill Hargrave?
Why?
Why?
Well, unless the police find Bisbee's body, there's no actual proof he's dead. Remember, Dollar, Hargrave was in Carson City when it happened. Plenty of witnesses to that.
I see.
But he's the only person, I'm sure of it, Johnny, he's the only person who could possibly benefit by Walter Bisbee's death.
Oh, now, Hal, that doesn't make a case against him.
Yeah, now they're up ahead. That's the old Caterwall number 2.
Hey, what are they doing there?
They're trying to get into the stope and find Bisbee's body.
Oh.
Hey, there's a surprise on that hill on top of the mine.
The man standing there by that block and tackle they've rigged up there?
Yeah, that's Bill Hargrave.
Uh-huh. And he was perfectly willing for them to try to get in there and look for the body?
Well, yes, he was. And look, by the way he's waving and shouting at that police officer down there, it looks like he's found something. Come on, Johnny. We'll see what it's all about.
On top of the small hill was a vertical ventilation shaft driven down into the mine. Hargrave had rigged up a support, a kind of tripod with a block and tackle on it, then lowered himself to the stope where Bisbee had been trapped, or to what was left of it. When Hal and I and the police officer got up there to him, Hargrave looked like a ghost, or as if he'd seen one. There was a strange expression in his eyes, his mouth half open, and his weather-beaten face so pale it was almost gray. When we questioned him, he simply stared at us, until the police officer took him by the arm and shook him.
Well, come on, Hargrave. Did you get down there all right, down to the stope?
Yeah, I got down there. There's a clear space where Walter was working.
Did you find him? Well, come on, Hargrave.
Yeah, I found him. And listen.
Well?
He was murdered in there. Walter was murdered.
Well, the political conventions are long gone. Is it all over but the voting? Hardly. From now to November, we're in for some hard campaigning. Details, of course, from CBS News. And your candidate, whoever he may be, is in for tough sledding before he gets into office, if at all. Your responsibility to your candidate is, of course, to give him your vote. Your voice will help, too. But there's something else that helps put across a campaign. It's money. The best candidate in the world can't get elected without incurring expenses. If you believe in your man enough to vote for him, believe in him enough to get out and work for him, then put some money on the line, too. That's the real test of your interest. We haven't covered the subject of whom to vote for, whom to support, whom to help with a contribution. That's strictly your own business. But if the people who like the other man dig in for him, and you don't do likewise for your man, well, that could be the difference right there. So think it over, and make sure you vote. And now, Act Two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Stope of Death Matter.
When Walter Bisbee died in the gold mine cave-in, when a state geologist hinted that maybe a charge of nitro had caused the cave-in, both Hal Barker and the police figured it might have been done by Bill Hargrave to get rid of his partner, to collect the insurance on him. But as they started clearing away into the stope to look for Bisbee's body, it was Hargrave who took the lead. He rigged a kind of makeshift hoist above an air shaft, lowered himself into the mine. And down below, in a small space cluttered with the rocks and shoring and other debris piled up from the collapse of the ceiling of the stope, he'd found what was left of his partner.
Beaten to death. Walter, my partner, beaten to death down there. By somebody knowed we'd made another find down there.
Easy,
and
Mr.
then they
Hargrave.
blowed in the mine on top of him. They murdered him. Don't you understand? Somebody murdered Walter down there.
Okay, Bill, okay. Now, just take it easy.
Well, you're the law. Now you go and find out who killed him. Who killed my partner?
We'll try, Bill.
You try. Sure.
Dollar,
You said
you want to go down there with me and help me recover the body?
Yes, sure.
I'll have some of the men working on the slope come up here and give us a hand, lower us down this ventilating shaft.
Okay.
And Bill, you go on back to town. We'll bring the body in so you can give him a decent funeral.
Funeral?
That's right.
No, officer.
What?
Why not, Hargrave?
Because Walter'd want to be buried here in the mine. The same as I would if this had happened to me.
But if you made a valuable find down there...
What are you talking about, Dollar? Do you think all the dirty yellow dust in the world would ever make up for a man like Walter Wisby? He was my partner. He was my friend. 20 years together, like brothers we were. Always together. Always share and share alike. When I found something, it was his, too. When he found something, it was mine as much as his. Well, didn't you know that?
Yes, and I understand the two of you did fairly well for a while.
Yeah. As long as the two of us worked together, of course we did. We opened up the old Higby's Folly, didn't we? And the old Yellow Jaybird.
Those were gold mines?
And they still had plenty in them. We showed them where. We showed them where to get it out.
When was that?
Oh, back in 1950, 51. It was Walter and me found the veins they'd passed on by. They thought those mines were all worked out, but we showed them different. They still had gold in them. We showed them where it was, Walter and me. And the Jolly Tar and the Frenchman's Luck back in 53. Walter and me. And now he's gone. He's through. Without him, without my partner, I'm through. And I never want to see a mine again. All I want is to get away from here, now, and forever. So, officer, you go on down there. You'll find him laying there, Walter, in the mine. It's the way he wanted it. It's the way that it's happened. And if the law says it's all right, you can leave him there, God rest his soul.
Well, now, of course, that's something that we'll have to...
And with those machines you got there on the slope, you can fill up this shaft and bury him. The way he'd have done for me, if I'd gone first.
Well, maybe we can do that, Bill.
Officer, I'd be mighty beholden to you if you would.
Now, you go on back to Virginia City, and if necessary, we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Dollar, let's get down inside the mine so I can verify the death and make out my report. I'm afraid I'm not used to one of these miner's lamps, Dollar.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I think we can see enough with them to just... Yeah, wait. Look. There he is.
Yeah, I see.
Good Lord. What a beating he took.
Beating?
Yeah, look at him. Look at his face. It's...
Hey, officer. This man was knocked down, then kicked to death. Yeah, these marks on him, on his face. Hobnails.
Yeah, you're right, Dollar. Whoever did this to him stood right here. You see?
Yeah, I see.
And you see the print of his right foot deep in the dust? Where he stood while he kicked and kicked with the other one?
And he is Walter Bisbee.
Yeah. Maybe we're going to have to leave him down here.
What do you mean?
Oh, 240, maybe 50 pounds. Up through that air shaft?
Oh, yeah. Maybe you got something there.
You and I, a couple of skinny guys, we barely made it. Only there was something around here could tell us who did this to him.
That footprint.
Hey, Dollar, there isn't a hard rock miner in this whole area doesn't wear shoes like that. Here, look, you see here? These other footprints, huh?
Yeah, well, those are probably Hargrave's from when he came down here through the air shaft to look for Bisbee.
Yep, that's right. Same kind of shoes, but newer.
Uh-huh.
You can tell by the nail marks.
Yeah, but does it prove that Hargrave came down here only after his partner was killed?
Oh, now, wait a minute, Dollar. You're forgetting that Bill was in Carson City when this happened.
Yeah, when what happened? The murder or the caving in of the stope?
Now, what do you mean by that?
Murder him, then try to cover it up with a cave-in.
Now, look, Dollar.
Hal Barker says that a state geologist told him he found signs that a small nitro charge may have been used near the entrance to this mine.
But if Bill... You mean you think Bill killed him down here and then had somebody else start the cave-in while he was over in Carson City?
Let somebody else in on it? No. If Bill killed him, he probably set off that charge, too.
But don't you see, if he was over...
Didn't you ever hear of an explosion being set off with some kind of a timer?
Well, yeah, sure, of course I have, but that still doesn't give us any proof that Bill did this.
The fact remains that Bill Hargrave is the only one who can possibly profit by his partner's death, right?
Sure, I'll go along with that, all right, but unless you can find some proof that he did this, well...
Well, I don't know. But while you're poking around in the dark down here, I'm going to pay a little visit to Bill Hargrave.
Go ahead. But why?
Well, I told you, officer. I don't know. The police officer stayed inside the mine in the hope of finding some definite clue to the killer of Walter Bisbee. Several things convinced him that Bill Hargrave hadn't done it. What Bill had said about his partner, their relationship over the years, Bill's known presence in Carson City at the time the mine collapsed, and my theory that an explosion was set off by some timing mechanism was only a theory. Even the fact that Bill was his partner's beneficiary didn't prove anything. And Bill had been among the first to volunteer to help and try to recover the body, and found a way to get down to it that nobody else had thought of. Yeah. Very convincing. Almost too much so. At least enough to make me more suspicious than ever. Suspicious of Bill Hargrave.
Just a little sort of shack on the edge of town, Johnny.
Okay, then let's head for it, Hal.
Well, of course, he may have gone over to Miss Crutch's boarding house to take care of Walter's things.
Hey, you mean in spite of all their palsy-walsy over the years, they didn't share the same living quarters?
Well, up to a few months ago, yes.
So maybe they had a falling out, huh? In spite of Hargrave's pretty little speech.
Well, Johnny, I must confess, I believe what he said. They were still working together. Maybe Bill just got tired of Walter's cooking or vice versa.
After 20 years.
Well, sure.
Look, Hal, you're the one who was suspicious of Bill Hargrave right from the beginning.
I know, Johnny. I know.
Well.
But unless you can find some proof that he did it, after his behavior back there at the mine...
You better do this, Hal, after you let me off at Bill's place. Go on back to the mine and bring that policeman over here to join me.
Oh? Well, now, Johnny...
Just do as I say, will you, huh?
Well, did you see something? Have you discovered something you haven't told me about? Or the officer?
No, yes, maybe. I don't know. Hal, I honestly don't know. But there was something back there. Something you or the officer told me? I don't know. Something down there in the mine.
Well, here we are. Here's the shack Bill lives in.
Wait a minute.
What, yeah?
Maybe that's it, yeah.
What, Johnny?
Yeah. Hey, listen. Before he leaves that mine, tell the officer to take one more good long look at the footprint we found in the dust.
Huh? Well, just exactly what is that?
Tell him that, Hal. Then tell him to get on over here fast.
Well, then you have thought of something to pin it on Hargrave.
I told you, Hal. I don't know. Hargrave wasn't there. Maybe he had gone over to the boarding house to look after his partner's belongings. Maybe. Well, with the help of my pocket knife, I managed to slip the catch in the front door of the shack. I closed it after me and took a look around. Well, it was pretty obvious things hadn't been going good for Bill, and for quite some time. I looked first for the pair of shoes, one of which could have made the print on the floor of the mine. But I didn't really care, and a pair of shoes could easily be gotten rid of. Oh, no. I was looking for something else, but just what I wasn't sure. That is, until I found it, hanging on the wall above the cot where he slept, just to one side of the door. Yeah, it was an old lever-action rifle. Unusual in this part of the country? Hardly. There were thousands of these old 30-30s around here. Guns of this make and type had been part of the history of the Old West. Still were a part of it. Oh, no. There wasn't a thing unusual about finding this kind of a gun hanging on the wall of a miner's shack. But about this particular one, there was something unusual. And as I laid it down on the bed and looked at it, as I thought about that footprint back in the mine...
Hey! Oh, why, Mr. Dollar.
Yeah, come in, Hargrave.
Sure. Yeah, what are you doing here?
Oh, just, looking around. You mind?
Oh, of course not, only...
You see, when a man's partner gets killed, I like to know all I possibly can about him. His habits, where he lives, how well he's been doing.
Yeah, but this is my place.
I know.
Walter was living over at Miss Crutcher's boarding house. I was just over there taking care of his... Oh, you mean you want to know all about me?
That's right.
Well, now, Mr. Dollar...
Sit down, Bill. And tell me just what kind of a timer you used to set off an explosion in that gold mine.
What?
Or do we have to tear that hill apart in the hopes of finding bits and pieces of it?
What are you talking about, Mr. Dollar?
Too bad the blast didn't fill up that stope completely, though, isn't it?
What?
Yeah, then the rocks would have pounded Walter's body enough to hide any sign of the way that he was kicked to death.
Well, now, look, sir,
So when you came back from Carson City and found the police were going to clear a way into that stope, you played it smart.
Dollar, you don't
You played along with them. You found a way into the mine through the ventilating shaft. You found the body. You told us that Bisbee had been murdered. Well, it really fooled him, Bill. It convinced him you were clean. But you overlooked one thing.
You don't know what you're saying.
That footprint down there in the dust. Oh, you changed shoes after you killed him. And no doubt you got rid of those old ones where no one would ever find them. And you left new prints with the new shoes you're wearing now to show they're different. But that one footprint, Bill.
What about it, Dollar?
When you stood there and kicked him, stood on your right foot and kicked him with your left.
So what? What about it?
And then when I came here a few minutes ago and found that rifle there on the bed, found the shiny spot on the right-hand side of the stock. Yeah, look, there. See how shiny it is? Do you see it, Bill?
Well, what about it? What about it?
Only a left-handed man polishes the right side of a gun stock when he rests his cheek against it.
All right,
The
Dollar.
same as he stands on his right foot and uses the left one to kick his partner to death. Well,
All right, so I killed him, but you won't live to tell anybody
Oh,
that.
you're a fool, Hargrave.
You're going to be a dead one.
You think I would have left that gun on the bed with the shells in it?
You mean...
I mean this! Phew. Son of a gun. I guess I really should have thought to take the shells out of that thing. So maybe there were dozens of left-handed men around Virginia City, and who knows, maybe there were some right-handers who kicked with the left foot. But Bill just didn't happen to think of that when he confessed the killing. Expense account total, including all the incidentals I can think of, and the flight back to Hartford, $248.75. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Constipation is something people don't talk about much, but it can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Well, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say.
A laxative should be effective, gentle, close to natural acting. A medicine that can be used with complete confidence.
Now, X-Lax has been popular with many doctors and millions of people over the years because pleasant-tasting chocolated X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is so gentle, so close to natural acting, there's no upset. That's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity gently, overnight.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, a most unusual case where murder isn't murder at all. Where the whole thing is based on the confession of a dying man to something he did some years before. Oh, his confession is true. It's backed up by all the facts in the case. There can be no question of them or the confession itself. And yet the twist at the end of the story, well, all I can tell you is it'll take you completely by surprise. So join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Herschel Bernardi, Russell Thorson, and Forrest Lewis. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is John Wall speaking.
An expectant mother and an adventuresome son are the elements of Suspense, next on the CBS Radio Network.
WROW in Albany, New York.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Mono Guarantee Insurance Company, Little Rock office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the double deal matter. Expense account item 1, $14.10, plane ticket from Hartford to Philadelphia, PA. Item 2, $6.25, taxi and tip for the ride into Eastern Trust and Insurance on Walnut Street. Hiya, Ted.
Mighty glad you could make it, Johnny. How are you?
So they made you the big wheel in this office, huh?
Made me the goat is more like it. Sit down.
Yeah, sure. Now, what's this about Mickey the Hood?
Michael Jonathan O'Banion. Oh, it's a nice, respectable-sounding name, but... Oh, brother, what a character.
Bootlegger, among other things, wasn't he?
rum runner, gun runner, smuggler, jewel thief. Probably a killer, too, back there in the 20s. Only they could never pin it on him.
Yeah, a real nice boy.
Well, after he served his term, in order to fill out his parole, he worked for one of the drug companies here in town.
Oh?
And then about, 2 years ago, he opened a little importing company. Probably just a front.
Importing?
Yeah, drug imports, mostly from the Far East. And that's when Bruce Terwilliger sold him all his insurance.
Terwilliger?
Yeah, my predecessor in this job.
Oh.
That's when he sold Mickey all his insurance. Nearly $500,000 coverage on his business. I'm sure it's not worth a tenth of that. And over $250,000 on his life.
Sounds as though he's still in the rackets.
Sure. And wants plenty of coverage in case he gets bumped off. And he should have been, long time ago.
All right, who's his beneficiary?
Oh, hold your hat, Johnny. Mary Toodles Baker.
Toodles?
Yeah. She's a cheap stripper, right out of the saloon circuit.
So you want to take him off your books, huh?
Well, he's a bad risk. He's constantly behind in his premium payments, and Well, I just don't want him as a client of this office.
Well, I can't say I blame you.
But this dear old saintly conservative company won't let me cancel his policies until I can get some legal proof.
Prove he's still in the rackets, huh?
Yeah. And, Johnny, that's your job.
Oh, now, wait, Ted.
Yeah?
That's not for me. That's a police job.
Yeah, but they haven't got a thing on him, Johnny. So far as they're concerned, he's behaving himself, staying out of trouble, and just running his drug business.
Yeah, but you think differently.
Well, I bet my bottom dollar on it. And Johnny, if you can prove it for
look,
me...
Ted, what am I supposed to do? Stick my neck out to a punk like Mickey just because you have a hunch about him?
Hunch?
No, thanks, Ted. If a guy like that happens to be involved in fraud against the company, something like that, you call on me and I'm stuck with him. But to try to frame him for you when there's no real evidence against him...
Frame him? Now, wait, I didn't say that. Just show him up for a wrong guy.
Look, when he commits some offense against the company, okay. But until then...
Johnny.
No, sorry, Ted, but it's no go. No, you mess around a character like that without legitimate reason, I'd end up with a hide full of lead.
No,
so
look, Johnny,
thanks a lot. I want nothing to do with him.
But, Johnny...
Sorry, Ted.
Okay. I suppose all I can do is wait until it's too late. And we have to pay him a lot of money on some fraudulent claim or on his rotten carcass.
Afraid so.
Oh, Johnny, if you'd only... Oh, excuse me. Ted Plainer.
Well, that's all you wanted me for.
Dollar?
Hmm?
Why, yeah. What did you... Look, talk a little slower, will you? Well, yeah, he's right here.
What's that?
Here, look, you talk to him. Here, Johnny, it's for you.
For me?
Oh, some crazy... He said he traced you here through your call service back in Hartford.
Okay, let me have it.
Ask me the guy's off his rocker.
$20.
Of his taking on this matter.
Hello?
Evan only knows what might happen.
Hello? Well?
John Dollar?
Yeah, that's right.
John, you must come to see me at once.
Who's that?
The most terrible thing has happened. Oh, yes.
Yes, what?
This is Harry Branson at Philadelphia Mutual Liability and Casualty.
Oh, I might have known.
What?
Nothing. What seems to be the trouble, Harry?
Disaster, John, disaster. Can you see me at once?
What about?
The famous Canary Diamonds. Listen,
Oh,
John.
now, wait, Harry. I brought those things back from France some months ago.
I know, but now they've been stolen again.
They what?
Yes. John?
Okay, Harry, I'll be right over.
Now, who the devil was he?
Well, now that insurance man wants to hand me a case that I can really do something with.
Oh?
And he'll pay me a pile of dough if I can solve this theft for him.
Theft?
Yeah. Hey, wouldn't it be nice if I could sort of tie Mickey the Hood in on it?
Johnny, are you serious? You really think you could?
Ted.
Yeah, Johnny.
Fat chance.
Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Have a commander, welcome aboard. Have a commander, welcome aboard. The cleaner the tobacco, the better it tastes. Have a commander and see. The cleaner the tobacco, the better it tastes. And in Commander, the tobacco is vacuum cleaned. Have a commander, welcome aboard.
3 yourself to a pack of new king-size Philip Morris Commanders, made on a new machine, the Mark 8, that takes rich, full-flavored Philip Morris tobacco and gently vacuum cleans it. And the cleaner the tobacco, the better it tastes. Yes, the cleaner the tobacco, the better it tastes. Noticeably better.
Have a Commander. Welcome aboard.
And now, Act Two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Double Deal Matter.
I found Harry Branson pacing the floor, wringing his hands.
John, thank heaven.
So the Canary Diamonds have been stolen again.
Terrible, terrible.
But I thought they were insured by you.
They got so much publicity when you recovered them from that smuggler over in France that one of our important clients, Mrs. Arthur Pierpont Galloway, just had to have them. So she bought them and then insured them with us.
How much, Harry?
$515,000.
Wowee.
She received a phone call that one of the national magazines wanted pictures of them there at her home.
The call was a phony?
She thought her chauffeur and butler would be protection enough, but when the man came, well, he tricked her into being alone with him, and, well, he just walked off with the diamonds.
Well, they must have a description of him.
Of course they have, but a rather confusing one. They were all so excited.
So, what about the police?
Oh, dear, the police have showed Mrs. Galloway and the chauffeur and the butler so many pictures of criminals that, well, they just don't know which is which.
Oh, fine.
But the police seem to think that they have some ideas about who this terrible thief might be.
All right, what about fingerprints, that sort of thing?
Oh, he was far too clever for anything like that.
I suppose so. Yeah, I wonder if the chauffeur or the butler could be in cahoots with this man.
Absolutely not.
Well, you sound pretty sure of that.
I know both of them myself, have known them for years, ever since they went with Mrs. Galloway, and I'm certain they are absolutely honest. After all, John, I am an excellent judge of character.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of that. Now, who's in charge of this case at headquarters?
At Central Headquarters, Lieutenant Bernard Barry.
Bernie Barry? Sure, I know him well.
Now, here, I'll give you Mrs. Galloway's address.
Don't bother, Harry, not yet.
Oh? John, you mean you might have some idea who might have done this?
Not the least.
But unless you see and talk with
her... But as long as the police have some ideas, why don't I see them first?
Oh.
Yeah, I'll give it a fling, Harry.
Give it a fling?
Sure, as long as I'm already here in Philly.
John, how can... Don't you $515,000.
Yeah, that's a lot of dough.
Then how can you be so casual? You don't even seem to be really interested. John, think of what your commission will be if you effect a recovery.
Do you think I'm thinking of anything else? I walked on over to Central Police Headquarters and talked to Lieutenant Bernard Barry.
You asked me, Dollar, that thief had concealed his identity pretty well.
Oh, what do you mean, Bernie?
Well, according to their descriptions, he must have been wearing enough makeup for a whole chorus line. But why Mrs. Galloway and her servants didn't realize that right in the beginning and throw him out, I'll never know.
That's why they couldn't pick him out of the mug file, huh?
Except for one thing the chauffeur noticed about him.
What was that?
He'd apparently tried to cover a scar on his face.
Oh?
From the outer edge of his left eye down his cheek.
Wait a minute.
Yeah?
Maybe 5 feet 8 or 9. Very heavy, say a couple 100 pounds.
Yeah, darling, I'm way ahead of you.
And say about 51 or 2 years old.
Well, with all that makeup, it was hard to tell. But
black hair, bushy eyebrows, maybe?
We'd powdered his hair to make it look gray. We found traces of the powder.
But Mickey the Hood. Mickey O'Banion.
So we've had a tail on him every minute since the robbery was reported.
And?
Nothing, darling, nothing at all. And, of course, he had an airtight alibi.
Oh, sure he would have.
And, of course, so would any other crook smart enough to pull a job like that.
Just the same, Bernie.
But until we can trip him up, or, more important, find out how he'll try to dispose of those stones...
I know how to get him out of the country. Hey, but wait, his drug importing business.
Yeah, importing, Dollar, not exporting.
But he must ship stuff around in this country.
And any shipments he makes will be gone over with a fine-tooth comb. Unknown to him, of course.
Yeah?
What do you mean by that?
Well, if he did take these stones, he'll know everything you're doing.
Maybe. You're thinking, of course, about how they were gotten out of the country before, in those cases of canned goods you found in Paris.
Yes. I'm also thinking how impossible it would be to dispose of them here in the U.S.
Even broken down? Taken out of the settings?
Oh, look, Bernie, the distinctive color of the Canary Diamonds, all of them perfectly matched. That color's so unique that, well, he'd have to get them abroad. But where and how?
Dollar, all we can do is keep an eye on him. Of course, keep an eye open for anyone else who might have stolen them.
Well, Bernie, I'll concentrate on him.
Well, what'll you do? I mean, that we're not already doing. Well?
Bernie, I haven't the least idea. Oh, sure. Maybe someone else had taken those stones. But I've played my hunches before, and somehow they've usually paid off. And sure, if Mickey did steal them, why, maybe he was smart enough to simply sit tight for a while until things cooled down. I looked up the address in the phone book, then spent item 3, $1 even for a cab to a small building on South 23rd Street marked O'Banion Drug Imports. It was a small kind of store building with a combination office and sales room in the front. Much to my surprise, there was only one person there.
That's right, Michael J. O'Banion.
Well, sir, my name is Russell. Peter Russell.
Mr. Russell?
Yes, sir, I own a small chain of drugstores in the South, and we get a lot of calls for anything unusual down there. Our customers seem to go for unusual, exotic-type drugs and medicines.
Oh, so I understand.
So when I saw your ad in the Yellow Pages, I thought I might take a look at your stock.
Oh, fine. Everything we catalog is right here on these display shelves.
All right, sir.
Yeah, pick out whatever items you like. I'll be glad to ship them to you. Everything from dried seahorses and kelp, the Oriental people go over those things, to rare items like oil of rhodium, lovage, musk.
Yes, sir. I see y'all import a lot of things from China, Japan.
Well, I have contacts in Hong Kong and Kowloon that furnish me with many unusual items.
Excuse me, Mr. O'Banion.
Yes, I'll be with you in a moment, madam. Mrs. Peterson.
Yes, that's
is that
right. Yeah, we met at the travel office, and you promised me some...
Yes, of course, Mrs. Peterson. I have the bottle of nerve pills I promised you right here.
Oh, I'm so glad. And how much do I owe you for them?
Oh, not a thing. Not a cent.
Well,
Glad to have been able to make them up for you.
Well,
Here you are.
aren't you nice? Such a big bottle, too.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Mrs. Peterson. Well, have a nice trip.
I hope I can swallow such big pills.
Yeah, well, you just chew them like candy.
But they don't taste bad.
Just like sugar pills.
Well, how nice.
And remember, keep them in this bottle with its special seal and take only one each day. Goodbye.
My goodness, there's so many of them.
Yes, I'm sure they'll...
And you're so nice to have gotten them for me.
Yes, that's perfectly all right,
I'm
Mrs.
just sure I'll have no nerves at all on this
Yes,
tour.
well, that's good. Now, if you'll just
I'll tell
excuse...
you. I'll send you a postcard when we get to Hong Kong and let you know how
That's
they
not
work.
necessary at all. And goodbye, Mrs. Peterson.
Well, I certainly thank you.
Well, it's my pleasure. Goodbye. Well, now we can get back to business.
Are you always so nice to your customers, O'Banion?
Just a minute.
Yeah?
Forgot your phony accent, didn't you?
My,
That voice. I'd know that voice anywhere from the radio.
The radio?
Johnny Dollar.
So?
I should have known it when you talked about a non-existent ad in the Yellow Page.
So I pulled a boo-boo.
Listen, Dollar. If the police sent you around here, if you think I had anything to do with those Canary diamonds...
Well...
Neither you nor anybody else can prove it. So, Dollar, if you know what's good for you...
Oh, now that's a corny line.
If you want to stay alive, just leave me alone.
Make this Thanksgiving something special. How? By taking lots and lots of pictures. Just think of all the wonderful moments you can capture forever. Mom in the kitchen making dressing. That big moment when Dad starts slicing the turkey. The look on the kids' faces when they select their pie. Dad snoozing in his favorite chair after dinner. Yes, pictures are the best way to make those moments last forever. But only with Flash can you capture all the fun and color of those moments at their best. Anytime, anywhere. That's why now, today, you should pick up a pack of Sylvania Blue Dot Flash Bulbs, the world's largest selling brand. Sylvania Blue Dots work with any film, with any camera, and you can always be sure they'll work. Simply look at the little blue dot. Sylvania puts it there as your assurance that it will fire. If by some rare chance it has turned pink, then return the bulb to your dealer. He'll make good on it. But hurry, Thanksgiving is this Thursday. Get your Sylvania Blue Dot Flash Bulbs today. And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
There in Mickey O'Banion's phony import office, things began to add up. Before he recognized me, he'd said something about contacts in Hong Kong and Kowloon, great smuggling country. And the little old lady, Mrs. Peterson, to whom he'd given the nerve pills, she said she'd met him in a travel office. Was he making arrangements for a trip out of the country? Yeah, another thing. That bottle of pills. He'd made them up, he said. Big pills. Remember that. Take only one of them a day, he told her. Well, by the time she got to Hong Kong, she could only use a few of them off the top of that bottle. It must have held a couple of hundred of them. And once in Hong Kong, one of his contacts? Or would he himself be there by then? Yeah, but I needed proof. And I certainly couldn't trick an old hand like Mickey into a confession. Far from it.
You think I don't know the cops are watching me every minute, going through every package I try to ship out of
All right,
here?
now listen, Mickey.
You think I'd be fool enough to touch those stones in the first place?
Fool enough or smart enough?
Oh, I'm smart enough, darling. Don't you forget it. And until you can show some kind of proof I know anything about it.
Okay,
Well, now
Mickey.
go on, get out of here. And you stay away from me before I...
Before you what?
All right, go on, get out.
Sure. Why not? If only I'd had sense enough to follow that Mrs. Peterson. While I was standing there talking to Mickey, she could be on her way to a plane, a train, or steamship. Item 4, $1.30 in a phone booth, calling every travel agency, airline, steamship, company, railroad I could find listed until I got the one who'd arranged her round-the-world tour. That was due to leave in a few hours. Better still, they told me she'd been staying at the Bellevue Stratford. Item 5 is $1.25 taxi fare to the Bellevue.
Just a minute, bellboy.
Well, Mrs.
Just a minute. All packed now, bellboy, and you... Oh.
Mrs. Peterson.
Why, you're the young man I saw a little while ago.
I want that bottle of pills you got from Mr. O'Banion.
Now, look here.
Where are they?
I'm a very nervous woman.
All right, my name is Dollar, special investigator.
Investigator?
That's right.
That's like a detective.
That's right. Now, please, those nerve pills.
I haven't done anything wrong.
You will if I don't stop you.
What? No, you're a robber. A burglar or something.
Oh, look,
and
listen to
I'm
me, will you
so
please?
nervous.
Then why don't you take one of those pills? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Yes, I will.
While I dig out some credentials to prove I'm telling you the truth.
Here. Now, here they are.
All right, here are my credentials. And let me have this bottle.
Johnny Dollar, freelance. But you're selling them.
Now, they can't all be loaded with...
Let me have one of those pills so I can... Here, now...
All right, that one you took may be from the bottom of the bottle because of the way they fell on the table when I spilled them out.
What possible difference could... Oh. Oh, my dear, I've broken a tooth.
No, you haven't. All right, spit it out into my hand.
I certainly will not.
Come on.
All right. Here.
Broken tooth, huh?
What?
Ever see a more perfect yellow diamond than this?
Diamond?
Over a carat, I'd say. No wonder he had to make the pill so big.
But I don't...
Oh, and what a beautiful stunt. Who'd ever think to question a bottle of nerve pills carried to Hong Kong by such a sweet, pretty little old lady?
Well, but...
And once there, either Mickey or one of his pals would take them away from you.
Mr. Dollar...
But instead, we'll just dissolve the sugar coating off the rest of these and... Mrs. Peterson...
Well, yes, Mr. Dollar.
How would you like some extra spending money on this trip? Say, a couple of $1,000?
Couple of $1,000?
And all you have to do is come along with me and tell the police where you got this bottle of pills.
But I'm afraid I still...
Well?
Well, of course.
Proof. That was all Lieutenant Berry needed. The Canary Diamonds are home again. And that'll save Philly Mutual from having to pay off a big claim. And Eastern Trust and Insurance has plenty of reason to drop O'Banion as a client. After all, he ought to be out of circulation for a long, long time. Expense account total $2,044.25. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star will return in just a moment.
Constipation is something people don't talk about much, but it can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Well, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say.
A laxative should be effective, gentle, close to natural acting. A medicine that can be used with complete confidence.
Now, X-Lax has been popular with many doctors and millions of people over the years because pleasant-tasting chocolated X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is so gentle, so close to natural acting, there's no upset. That's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity gently, overnight.
Now here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, one of the roughest, toughest, and most unusual investigations I ever get involved in. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Chet Stratton, Harry Bartell, Barney Phillips, and Paul Frees. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is John Wall speaking.
Stay tuned now for another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
This is the CBS Radio Network.
You're tuned to Radio 590 WROW in Albany, New York.
Johnny Dollar.
Mr. Dollar,
Yes?
this is Christian Albeck at International Life and Casualty in Boston.
Well, Mr. Albeck, I haven't heard from you in 3 or 4 years.
No.
How are you?
Fine, just fine, Mr. Dollar. But I'm afraid I have a bit of a problem.
Well, who hasn't?
And I wonder if you could, what was that?
Nothing. You were going to say?
I wonder if you're free to come up here and see me right away.
I don't know why not. As long as you're willing to pay my expense account and commission, and maybe a little extra fee in addition.
Well, that remains to be seen. Of course, there is a $250,000 policy involved.
Say no more. I'm on my way.
The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the International Life and Casualty Insurance Company, Home Office, Boston, Massachusetts. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the 3-for-1 matter. Expense account item 1, $7.75, plane fare to Boston. Item 2, $2.25 for a cab to International's office in the little building at the corner of Tremont and Boylston, across from the Touraine Hotel. Come to think of it, it's not too far from station WEEI that carries the broadcast reports on these cases. Christian Albeck is in his late 40s, tall, blond, lantern-jawed. His casual manner and rather bland expression belie a sharp, keenly analytical mind. I've always had the feeling that he might always be just one jump ahead of me.
Sit down, won't you, Mr. Dollar?
Thank you, Chris. Only, why the mister?
Well, after all, you are in Boston, you know. Cigarette?
Thank you.
It's fairly noon. I take it you come up here by plane.
Mm-hmm. With an ulterior motive. I figured if I got here in time for lunch, I might persuade you to foot the bill over at the old Union Oyster House.
Well, why not? Afterwards, we can pick up a rental car for you.
Oh?
Yes. See, it'll be necessary for you to run up to Center Harbor in New Hampshire.
Up there at Lake Winnipesaukee again?
Yes, where you handled a case for us once before.
Great.
Huh?
Well, it's pickerel, perch, smallmouth bass. Only why didn't you tell me that on the phone, Chris, so I could have brought along some fishing tackle?
This time of year?
Oh, that's right. I kind of lost my head.
Now, why don't we go on over to the Oyster House, and while you're gorging yourself on seafood, I can tell you what this is all about.
Fine.
Another dozen on the half shell, Mr. Dollar?
Oh, are you kidding? I've had it. Oh, I just hope I can make it up to Lake Winnipesaukee. I come to think of it. To what, Chris?
To see if you can find out what's happened to Mr. John Stewart Kirkman.
Kirkman?
Yes. He and his wife live on Red Hill Road up there at Center Harbor. He's a man of about 60, retired, worth quite a lot of money.
I see.
His wife telephoned me just before I called you this morning. She gave me no details, but it seems that Mr. Kirkman left the house sometime after dinner last evening, presumably to see a man on business of some kind or other. And, well, she simply hadn't seen or heard anything of him since.
$250,000 policy,
Yes, with a double indemnity clause.
She's checked with this man that he went to see?
She doesn't know who it was.
Well, what about the police up there? Chief Mike Sharp, isn't it?
Yeah. I talked to him this morning, too. He'll give you all the details, and he's happy you're on the case.
Well,
he thinks a lot of you, Johnny, Mr. Dollar, and he promises complete cooperation.
Well, good.
Incidentally, now,
Yeah?
No. Nothing. Well, you see what you think when you get up there.
What I think about what, Chris?
Forget it.
No, wait a minute. You've got an idea maybe about someone who might have helped Mr. Kirkman disappear?
I didn't say that.
Now, don't start that again.
Again?
That other case up there, Winnipesaukee. If you'd told me your suspicions right at the beginning, it would have saved me a lot of trouble and your company a lot of expense.
Yeah, but if I'd been wrong...
But you were absolutely right.
Yeah, quite possible that I'm wrong this time.
Who do you suspect, Chris, of wanting to get him out of the way? Well, then, who is the beneficiary of this policy that he holds?
His wife, Mona.
$250,000,
Yeah.
Or maybe double that.
But I'm thinking of, well, 3 people, Dollar, who might, and I use the word might, now mind you.
Go on. Who are they?
Well, it's Charles B. Hockaway.
Who's he?
Hockaway, a sort of junior partner for a while in Mr. Kirkman's investment business here in Boston. Before Kirkman retired, went up there to live in Center Harbor.
Mm-hmm. What about him?
Hockaway borrowed a lot of money from him on a handshake. No contract. Never paid it back. For the simple reason that he's completely impractical, incompetent, wasteful.
How much?
Nearly $100,000, I understand. Anyhow, last time I talked to Mr. Kirkman, he said he was going to take legal action, even if it meant complete ruin for Hockaway.
Did he?
I don't know. I do know that Hockaway was not only worried, but bitterly resentful.
He was?
He said he'd really earned the money, which isn't true. That Kirkman didn't need it, and that he'd see him in Hades before paying a cent of it. And a couple of months ago, Hockaway quietly took a little cottage up there in Center Harbor.
You think that in order to avoid paying off his debt, he would go so far as to...
No, I didn't say that. Then there's Mildred.
Mildred who?
Armstrong. She was Kirkman's first wife. When he divorced her, he made what was then a very generous settlement. But later, when he began to get really wealthy and wouldn't add to what he'd given her, well, I just happen to know that she's been threatening him for years.
Threatening to kill him?
Now, Mr. Dollar, I didn't...
All right. You didn't say that.
No. But she, too, has recently moved to Center Harbor.
Well, now, Chris...
And finally, there's Tony Benson, who's turned up in Wolfsboro on the other side of the lake.
And who is he?
Well, he's a fairly bright young fella. But basically, just a bum. Just an irresponsible young... Mr. Dollar, Tony has been in more scrapes. And I'll wager he's had at least a dozen different jobs in the last 10 years. There's been absolutely no good in any of them. Right now, he's a sort of dental assistant for Dr. Porteous.
And what's his beef?
Mona, Mr. Kirkman's wife. Tony was in love with her once, or with her fortune, really, but Kirkman beat him to it.
I thought Kirkman himself had the money.
But it was hers that enabled him to build up his business. Therefore, his own fortune, to the point where he could retire in 4 years.
Oh.
Anyhow, I don't think Tony would stop at anything to get even.
Oh, wait a minute. Get even with Kirkman or his wife?
Frankly, knowing the way that love can turn to hatred in such a case, I would have thought with Mona. But now, of course...
Well, they're pretty thin motives, it seems to me, Chris, all of them. But you think that one of those 3 might possibly have decided to put Kirkman out of the way?
No, I didn't say that. I only
Okay, Chris. Let's get out of here. Get me a car and I'll be on my way. Item 3, $50 deposit on a rental car. By the time I'd covered the 125 miles or so to Center Harbor, it was late afternoon. Police Chief Mike Sharp was out of his little office, so I left a note on the door, went over and checked in at the Garnet Inn. I wondered which of the people that Chris had mentioned I should contact first. If, that is, anything actually had happened to Mr. Kirkman.
Yes, come in. Well, howdy, Mr. Dollar.
Chief Sharp, nice to see you.
I thought maybe it was you who'd moved in here, and I saw that rental car out front.
Here I am.
About that Mr. John Stewart Kirkman, man you come up here to look for?
Yes.
Might have saved yourself trouble, Mr. Dollar. Just found him myself.
Oh, well, good.
Found his body, rather. Mr. Kirkman's dead. Stone dead.
If you leave your car outside at night and hope in the morning it'll be all right. If your car's in a garage that has no heat, you want antifreeze protection that's real complete. Don't ask for trouble. Ask for DuPont Xerox Antifreeze.
For dependable protection against sudden drops in temperature all winter long, use DuPont Xerox Antifreeze. Even during a warm spell, Xerox won't boil away. It outlasts winter. And to guard against damaging rust and corrosion, Xerox has MR8 Rust Inhibitor, an exclusive DuPont development that protects all engine metals, including aluminum. So for safe, dependable protection, do as millions of motorists have done for over 20 years. Ask for Xerox Antifreeze. It's made by DuPont. Remember,
For cars left out at night or in unheated garages. Don't ask for trouble. Ask for DuPont Xerox Antifreeze.
Now, just take it easy, Mr. Dollar, coming to that curve up ahead there.
Right, Chief.
Yeah, that is, unless you want the same thing to happen as happened to Mr. Kirkman. Maybe you better stop along about here.
Yes. I see those tire tracks on over the edge of the curve and on through the broken fence there beyond.
Yeah, that's what happened to him, all right. Lost control, missed the curve, went on over the edge. Yeah, there, now. See how it hit the bottom down there?
60 or 70 feet.
Well, come along, Miss Dollar. Watch your step here.
Yep.
Footing's not so good on this side of the hill.
Yeah, I see that. Who is that down there?
Old Doc Higby. He's the coroner. I want him just to be sure that body's all right.
How do you mean, all right?
Well, it looks pretty obvious, like an accident, but you didn't have a chance to look at those tire tracks as careful as I did.
Oh, I think I know what you mean about him, Chief.
Do you?
Yeah, there were no skid marks. They show that he tried to put on the brakes before going over.
That's right. Those tracks are so clear, so plain, Mr. Dollar.
You wonder if Kirkman wasn't dead before he hit the curve,
That's a possibility.
Maybe somebody killed him and propped him up behind the wheel, then helped that car over the edge.
Yes, sir. So, if Doc Higby has found any sign on him, any sign at all... Well, how about it, Doc?
Well, not a mark, Chief Sharp. Not a single mark onto him, except for the blow to his head that killed him when the car rolled over.
You're sure of that, Dr. Higby?
Yeah. Eh?
I mean, there's no other mark that might possibly have accounted for his death. You're absolutely certain of that,
Now, just a minute, young man. Who is this young man talking to me like this?
No, Doc. This is Mr. Johnny Dollar. He's kind of a special
The Johnny
investigator.
Dollar? The insurance investigator?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, now, howdy, Mr. Dollar. I'm mighty pleased to meet you.
Well, thank you, Doctor, but,
You'll have to pardon his sparking up that way, Mr. Dollar. I guess we folks around here have him spoiled. He's just not used to having someone question his professional opinion.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's perfectly all right, and I'm glad to know you, Doctor.
Well, but, now, knowing how thorough you always are, Mr. Dollar, you see, I listened to all those reports on your cases over the radio, mostly on WGAN and over to Portland and on WEEI down to Boston.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, sir.
So, I suppose, in spite of my opinion, in spite of the way this looks like an accident, maybe I'd better do an autopsy.
I think it might be a good idea, Doctor, because if he was killed before the car rolled on down here...
I'll do it right away. if you two will help me get the body down to my car that's down below.
Sure. In the meantime, Chief Sharp.
Yeah, in the meantime, Mr. Dollar, just in case,
Yeah.
there are 3 people I'd like to make certain are still about in these parts.
Like Charles P. Hockaway, for instance?
Well, yes. But how'd you know?
And perhaps Mildred Armstrong and Tony Benson?
Yes, sir. Especially that Tony Benson over to Wolf's Bar.
Okay. While you're rounding them up, I want a mechanic to look over the brake system on this car to find out, if possible, why it went over the edge.
That's a good idea. While you and Doc take in the body, I'll get a hold of Frank Marshall over at the gas station to look at the brakes, and then I'll round up those people you mentioned.
Fine. I didn't stick around to watch the autopsy, thank you, but went back to the Garnet Inn. It was dinner time, and in spite of the hefty lunch in Boston, I was hungry again. But as I went to my room to wash up... It's funny, I guess I forgot to lock it.
Oh, you locked it all right.
What? Who are you?
You're Johnny Dollar, aren't you?
That's right.
Well, I'm Tony Benson.
Well?
I saw the note you left on the door at Chief Sharp's office. I came over here to wait for you. Got tired of standing around, so I came up here and slipped the lock with a business card. Any objection?
And, if I decided that, you should be held for breaking and entering?
Well, it's a lot better than being held for murder, isn't it?
Murder?
Well, that's what that crazy old police chief would do in a minute if he could cook up something wrong about the way old Kirkman's car went over that cliff.
Oh, you know about it?
Doesn't everybody? But I don't want anybody accusing me of murder.
Why should they?
Because they all think I had a grudge against Kirkman, that's why.
Didn't you?
No. It wasn't him that did me dirt. It was that, well, it was Mona that left me flat. If I had a grudge against anybody, it was against her, not him. Well, if you don't believe me, ask her.
Maybe I will.
Anyhow, when I found out you were here, at least I knew I'd get a fair shake for a change.
Tony, you said murder. What makes you think Kirkman was murdered when all the signs point to an accident out there?
Now, listen, all I said was that old Chief Sharp would try and, well, you know, cook up something or something just because he doesn't like me.
Maybe he has good reason.
Yeah?
Wait a minute. Johnny Dollar.
My name is Mildred Armstrong, Mr. Dollar.
Yes.
I must see you right away.
Oh, what about?
You know very well what about. About John Kirkman. And I'm not the one who murdered. Had him murdered.
What makes you think he's been murdered, Miss Armstrong?
Well, he's dead, isn't he?
Yes, he's dead, all right, but it looked like an accident.
Oh, well, I didn't know. Then there won't be any silly suspicion of me.
Or should there be?
I beg your pardon?
Are you here in Center Harbor?
Yes. Why?
Well, then I think you'd better come on over here and see me.
Now, just a minute.
Or would you rather I had Chief Sharp bring you over?
Very well, Mr. Dollar. I'll be over to see you.
All right, now, Tony.
So, maybe now you got a better suspect, huh?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, if old Kirkman was murdered, I mean what you said to that Armstrong dame. Now, look, if you want my opinion...
No, thank you. Oh, now what?
Mr. Johnny Dollar?
That's right.
Well, I'm glad to see you here. My name is...
Hi.
Tony.
Charlie boy, come on in. Join the party.
Mr. Hockaway, is it?
Oh, yes.
At this point, I guess I can only say I've been expecting you.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Well, you came to tell me perhaps that...
That I didn't murder John Kirkman.
Yes, that word seems to be getting pretty common around here.
What's that?
How do you know he's been murdered?
Oh, I see. A little slip of the tongue, and you've immediately become suspicious. Well, don't, old man, because there's no reason to. What I meant was... you know.
No, what did you mean, Mr. Hockaway?
Well, just that if there should turn out to be anything suspicious about the, well, let's face it, Dollar. Kirkman and I were not on very good terms.
Yes, so I understand.
Careful, Charlie. You're sticking your neck out.
But if there should be any question of murder, old man, well, needless to say, I
didn't do it.
That's right. I'm glad you understand.
Sit down, Hockaway.
Oh, surely, Mr. Dollar.
Chief?
Yeah, this is Miss Armstrong, Mr. Dollar. Met her on the way over after I checked with Frank Marshall about the car.
Oh, won't you go on in, Miss Armstrong?
Certainly.
Well, Miss Armstrong.
As to where the other two are that I...
Yeah.
Where'd you find them, Mr. Dollar?
Well, let's say they found me, Chief. Have you checked with Dr. Higby?
Yeah, let's shut this door a little.
Sure. Well?
Looks like we were wrong. Doc says it was the accident killed Mr. Kirkman, no doubt about it. So all this roundup of suspects...
Chief, what did Frank Marshall say about the brakes on the car?
He went over it with a fine-tooth comb, Mr. Dollar. Nothing tampered with, no loose connections, nothing wrong at all.
I see.
Well, only one thing. There was no fluid in the brake lines.
What?
You know, that copper tubing that carries the fluid.
Oh?
But only because of a tiny little leak, a little hole so small that even his smallest drill wouldn't fit in it.
That car's pretty new.
Yeah. So it must have been just a defective piece of that tubing that let fluid leak out.
Wait a minute. Hold everything.
Huh?
Chief.
Yeah?
Look, go on in there and keep an eye on the suspect while I go over and take a look at that car, will you?
Yeah, but I thought that you... Suspect?
That's right.
But who? Which one?
Judging by the way they all descended on me as though to make sure I wouldn't suspect them, it could be any one of them. But you just sit tight right here and we'll see.
Night, Tommy. See you in the morning. Now,
Yes, Frank?
Well, like I told Chief Sharp, Mr. Dollar, must have been an accident. These brake lines on this car have been tampered with, and I would have known it right away.
Well, I'm sure you would, Frank.
Sure. Any wrench or other tool had been put on any connections, any bleedle lines, I'd have noticed. Kind of would have disturbed the mud from that last rain we had. Would have left a mark.
Mm-hmm.
There was no saw marks, anything like that, anywhere on that copper tubing. And I also checked the master cylinder and all four wheel cylinders, too.
Well, then how do you account for no fluid in the lines?
Well, I thought about that myself. Count if I'd checked the fluid level last time I did a lube jar on this car, last week.
The chief said that there is a small hole in one of the lines.
Oh, yes, sir. It's a defect in the tubing. Leastwise, it's much too small for any drill point.
Is it?
Oh, yes, sir. And I know because I got drill points in my kit all the way down to 128th of an inch. And the hole's a lot smaller than that.
Is it all right if I get under and take a look?
Oh, sure, go ahead. Here, you can use this crawler here. Just lay down, roll under.
Good. You have a flashlight?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, right here.
Is there any kind of a magnifying glass around here?
Yeah, sure. You can use this little pocket magnifier if you want.
Okay, fine. The hole in that copper tubing that carries the brake fluid was tiny. But under the magnifying glass, it was all too obvious that someone had drilled it there. And remember this. Where an ordinary metal drill leaves a burr, a bit of metal shaving on the edge of a hole that it's cut. Here there was none.
See it under there? Too small for any kind of drill. Much too small.
Any kind? Sorry, Frank. That's where you're wrong.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Dollar.
Chief?
Where you been, Dollar? Not digging up another suspect for the murder that wasn't a murder after all?
Yes, the chief has just told us it was an accident due to faulty brakes.
All right, it's all over. It's all settled now.
So you see, Mr. Dollar, I told you there was no cause for suspicion.
Right. So come on, let's get out of here.
Just one question first.
Yes, what is it, Mr. Dollar?
What is it?
Tony,
Yeah?
you're a dental assistant, aren't you?
Well, yeah, that's right.
Then you ought to be more careful with the equipment.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Or don't you remember what you did with this dental drill that you borrowed from the office?
Well,
This tiny drill that you used to drill a hole in that brake line.
no.
You don't remember where you put this drill without bothering to clean it? Without bothering to clean off the chips of copper on it? After you used it on the brake line? Well, Tony?
You're pretty smart, you know.
No. Just smart enough. So, once again, it's up to the courts. And how about the switch on this one? I mean, the logical suspect being the logical suspect for once. Expense account total, including board and room, mileage on the rental car, and the trip back to Hartford, plus incidentals, of course, $81.50. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, one of the cleverest ways to work a racket that ever tripped up a crook. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is written by Jack Johnstone. Produced and directed by Bruno Zerato Jr. Musical supervision by Ethel Huber. Johnny Dollar is played by Mandel Kramer. Also featured in our cast were Leora Thatcher as Mildred, William Mason as Tony, Robert Donnelly as Chris, Robert Dryden as the police chief, Reynold Osborne as Charles, Arthur Cole as the doctor, and Bill Lipton as Frank. Be sure to join us next week, same time, same station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Art Hanna speaking. Durward Kirby's favorite program, The Gary Moore Show, on the CBS Radio Network.
At roll 59 on your Tri-Cities dial, this is WROW Music in Albany, New York.
Young man, are you gambling with your future? Going round and round in circles, waiting for a break? Well, has Lady Luck smiled on you lately? Too bad. But your future's still ahead of you. Why not kiss Lady Luck goodbye and put the odds in your favor? Choose your own job training in today's Army, and then watch your future pay off.
You can choose job training before you enlist. Before you enlist in the modern Army.
Johnny Dollar. Oh, I beg your pardon. This is Earl Pullman's residence.
Well, it better be.
Who's that, Earl?
Who else? Now, listen, Johnny.
The idea of sneaking out of the house on me this way and at the crack of dawn. Where are you, Earl?
Down here at my office.
What?
Well, why not?
I thought you and I were going fishing this morning.
We are. Now, look, when you got down here to Sarasota, when was it, a week ago today?
That's right, and you promised me this was one trip to Florida for nothing but fishing.
Well, now, Johnny,
So what happened? I wasn't here more than 15 minutes before you had me involved.
Well, I know,
And as soon as
but
I cleared it up, what happened? You turned on a few days of windy, rainy weather, and all I can do is sit
Look,
here.
will you listen
The one
to me?
sunny day you picked to spend there in your office, my pal.
Did I say I've come down here to work?
What else?
Well, you remember that item in the Herald Tribune the other day about your being here?
Yes, and the one in the evening paper and the blurb on WSPB, and I thank you for the publicity.
All right.
What has that got to do with the weather and the fishing?
Well, I said, will you listen to me?
Okay. And it better be good.
Well, it is, and you're going to love it. Now, all that publicity you just mentioned has every fishing guide within miles making offers to take you out on the Gulf. You know, to prove to you once and for all that the fishing down here is just as good as Todd Swam and his Chamber of Commerce advertise.
So?
So, I came down here to look over these offers and decide which one we'd take advantage of today, now that the weather's cleared.
And have you?
I have. Old Captain Barney Bean.
Good.
He runs a half-baked fishing camp down at Lemon Bay and is not only a good skipper, but he happens to be a client, a policyholder.
Uh-huh.
And he guarantees to find us snook, sea trout, blues, bonito, pompano, kings, anything you want. So if you'll hop into my car and pick me up, we'll be on our merry way.
Now, you sure there isn't some teeny little unimportant insurance matter that maybe I'd better just kind of look into before we head for the briny deep?
No, sir, Johnny, I swear it. I promise. Cross my heart and hope to die. Well, you coming?
Okay. I'm coming. But if he tries to get me involved in another mess...
The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer and the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Tri-State Life and Casualty Insurance Company branch office in Sarasota, Florida, where I thought I had gone for a few days of fishing. But following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of The Guide to Murder Matter. Expense account item 1. Well, after all, as long as I was on expense account, why not be nice about it? So item 1 is $4.38 to fill up the gas tank on Earl Pullman's fancy air-conditioned car. 5 minutes later, I walked in on him at the office.
All right. Come on, Johnny. Help me up in my crutch, and we'll go fishing.
I'm with you. Captain Barney Beale down there at Lemon Bay was quite a character. About 65, I'd say. Tall, lean, and wiry, and his skin tanned to the color of cordovan. His deep-set eyes were that peculiar bluish gray that made you wonder if they were looking right on through you, and sharp enough to spot a seagull diving after bait a half a mile away. His boat, the Barney B, looked as well-weathered as he did, and the faded lettering across the stern showed the old craft had come from Gloucester, Mass., which helped to account for his speech. Instead of a southern drawl, it was pure New England.
Yeah, born in New Hampshire, Mr. Dollar. But I learned my sea fishing down off the Cape.
Cape Cod, Captain?
Yes, sir. Off the Georges Bank and the Nantucket Shoals. Develops a kind of instinct in a man, it does.
Well, I hope that instinct's working today.
Hasn't failed me yet. Not in all the 7 years I've been a guiding down here to this country. Now, you see that long stretch up ahead, with the mangrove islands on to either side?
Yep.
Snook Alley, they call it. Now then, let's see if we can hook up one or two.
One or two, we took no less than 7 fighting snook out of that spot, and all of them over 10 pounds. Then out in the Gulf, there were pompano and jacks and kings and just about everything else you can think of. By mid-afternoon, I was completely and happily exhausted from hauling him in. Earl, meantime, had laid himself across a thwart and slept. So we went on back to the dock, selected a couple of nice pompano to take home, then trudged wearily over to where I'd parked Earl's car.
That's a mighty pretty car you got there, Mr. Foreman.
Yeah, well, a lot of good it's doing me these days with this busted ankle. Having to depend on Johnny here, the speed demon, to get me around.
A lot more fancy than my old Maxwell it is.
Did you say Maxwell?
Yep. Drove it all the way down here from New Hampshire, I did. 1922 Maxwell.
And it's still running?
Yep. Had it up to Venice after groceries just a week ago, last Saturday. You'd like to see it?
I sure would. Earl, would you mind waiting?
No, go ahead, Johnny.
Right over here in the garage, Mr. Dollar.
1922, huh?
Yep, and the finest car I ever owned. Come to think of it, the only one. Real cheap to run, too. That's why I keep it. Now then, here we are. Here now. Well, sir, there's it. My, oh my, Mr. Dollar. Who is he? What's happened to him?
The he that Captain Barney spoke of was slumped there in the front seat of the ancient Maxwell, his face against the wheel and turned in our direction. The face was gray, a mask of death.
Proud we are, we being the CBS radio network, to be able to bring you on this station each weekday the songs of Bing Crosby and Rosemary Clooney. In addition to the sparkling Bing Crosby-Rosemary Clooney show, we're equally delighted to present at this same time each weekday the assorted talents of Art Linkletter, the house party man, Gary Moore and Durwood Kirby, and the rousing Arthur Godfrey Time. There's no business like show business, and nowhere else such a fine sampling of same than on this blockbuster CBS Radio Network Entertainment Fest. The nicest thing about it is, should you miss any or all of these great stars on a Monday, you can catch right up with them the next day, or any weekday you're so minded. Remember, nowhere else can you enjoy, each and every weekday, the Bing Crosby-Rosemary Clooney Show, the conversational gifts of Gary Moore and his foil, Durwood Kirby, the kids, comedy, and cut-ups of Art Linkletter's house party, and the air of glee with gusto that's a specialty of Arthur Godfrey Time.
quick examination of the body made it pretty evident that the man, whoever he was, had died of carbon monoxide poisoning. What's more, the ignition switch of the old Maxwell was in the on position. The gasoline gauge said empty. More important, I could find no marks on the body that might have indicated a struggle of any kind.
My, Mr. Dollar, this is a terrible thing. Terrible.
Do you know who he is, Captain Barney?
No, can't say I ever saw him before in my life. But he's certainly dead, isn't he?
He's certainly dead.
Handsome man, too. Can't be more than maybe 50, 55 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that beautiful head of hair. Nice clothes, too, yeah.
You better not touch him.
Oh, don't you worry about that.
When did you say you last used this car of yours, Captain?
Week ago, last Saturday.
Did you fill the gas tank then, by any chance?
Yep, filled it up the top. See, huh? Empty now.
Yes. And the garage has been locked ever since?
Ever since, Mr. Dollar. Nobody else but me has a key for it. But now, look here, sir.
Don't touch anything, Captain.
Oh, I won't, sir, I won't. You see here? Latch on this window is open.
Let's see. Yeah. Mm-hmm. To these spider webs all over it, though.
So this must be the way that he got in to do this to himself. I know that I should have always kept the keys in this car.
Captain, do you have any idea who the coroner is for this neck of the woods?
Yep. Old Dr. Hill lives over to this side of Cape Martin.
Then you better call him. Have him get over here right away.
Yes, sir. Do that right away.
And ask Mr. Poorman to come in and have a look.
Yeah, I'm right here, Johnny.
Earl?
What's all the excitement?
Look for yourself there behind the wheel of the old Maxwell.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How long has it been dead? Well, sir, Mr. Dollar, I'd say about a day.
I see.
Or maybe 2.
Oh?
Or maybe even 3. So for the sake of the record, I'll say it's been 2 days. Yes, sir.
And the cause?
Well, exactly what you said, Mr. Dollar. Carbon monoxide poisoning. No question of it, sir. That's what it is. That's what I'll put on the certificate.
Any idea about who he might be, Doctor?
No, and I'll tell you this, sir. There's no patient of mine would ever commit suicide this way.
You're sure it's suicide?
Well, of course it is. You don't see any marks on the body to indicate otherwise, do you?
No.
Of course you don't.
But I assume you'll do an autopsy anyway, won't you?
Autopsy? No, sir. No need for it. No need for it at all. No. I'll be on my way.
Just 1 minute, Doctor.
Now, you just stop worrying about it, Mr. Dollar. I'll have the boys come along over here and pick him up and take him to the morgue at Cape Martin, where I keep my office, and anybody wants to claim him, all well and good.
Well, just the same, sir.
If nobody claims him, why, they'll see that he gets a decent burial in the potter's field. And that'll be that. So you just stop worrying about him, huh?
Okay. You're the doctor.
That's right. Good day, Mr. Poorman. Captain Barney.
Bye, Doctor.
Bye, Doctor. Good day to you, Doctor. Well, Mr. Dollar.
You're absolutely sure you don't recognize him, Captain Barney, now that you've had another look at him?
Absolutely certain, Mr. Dollar.
Well, I know he isn't any client of ours, so, the doctor says, Johnny, why worry yourself about it? No point in it.
Yes, maybe you're right, Earl.
Sure, leave it up to local police if there is anything to investigate. And you don't really think there is, I hope. Come on, Johnny. Let's get on back to Sarasota before you start trying to blame me for getting you involved in something.
Earl, why don't you and Captain Barney load those fish into the car, while I take just one more look at this? Instead of wasting time on further examination of the body, I went back for another look at the window that Captain Barney had pointed out, where the dead man had apparently made his entry, carefully closing it after him. One of the panes was a brand new one, put in only recently. By whom? And why? There were several shards of glass from the old pane there on the floor, so I picked up one of them, cleaned it very carefully, and then by the simple expedient of moistening the corpse's hands, took a set of fingerprints. Then I joined the others at the car.
Oh, at least let me pay you something for the trip today.
Not a bit of it, though I thank you, Mr. Foreman. It was a pleasure and a privilege to be a guide for a famous man like Mr. Dollar.
writ up in all them papers and all, and on the radio.
Well, we're certainly much obliged then, aren't we, Johnny?
Of course. Next time I'll have to make my regular charge.
Don't you worry, Captain Barney. We'll be down here again.
Right.
Maybe very soon.
That was a fine way to end a pleasant day. But I told you I'd get you some good fishing, Johnny. And if you meant that about coming down here again, I'm all for it. Of course, that means you'll have to stick around a bit longer than you may have planned, because tomorrow I thought we might take my boat out and maybe just... Johnny? You listening?
Oh, of course, Earl. See Captain Barney again, you said.
Oh, well, that's almost what I said. Look, what's bothering you anyway? You mean maybe the kind of casual way that he took the finding of that body in his own garage?
Among other things.
Hey, wait a minute. We better go back there again. We forgot to look and see if there was a wallet or any papers or anything to identify.
No, the doctor and I both looked very carefully. There was nothing.
Well, I suppose a suicide wouldn't want anybody to know who he was.
That's wrong, Earl. Most suicides practically advertise their identities, and almost all of them leave a note of some kind.
But if you're thinking in terms of murder, Johnny... Are you?
I'm not sure yet.
But you said yourself there were no marks on the body or anything like that.
I know. None that showed. If only that old Dr. Hill would make an autopsy after I find out who that body belongs to.
Oh, now, look, Johnny, what's the point of it? And you're supposed to be down here on vacation, and you're supposed to... What?
What's the matter?
What the devil is that you have in your pocket?
Oh, careful, Earl. It's a little piece of window glass I picked up on the floor of the garage.
A little piece of what?
Who knows? Maybe it'll give us the key to a murder. Back in Sarasota, after leaving Earl at his home on Oyster Bay, I drove into police headquarters. The man I went to see was another Barney, Lieutenant Barney Phillips. He'd been of tremendous help to me many times before, and I knew that he would be again if he could.
Why, sure, Johnny. Be glad to cooperate. All we can, all of us. But aren't you kind of shooting in the dark on this one?
Well, maybe and maybe not. The point is that unless the police down there show a little more interest in old Dr. Hill... Look, if you can have your lab crew photograph the prints that I have on this sheet of glass, will you?
Well, then send them on to Washington?
Yeah.
It might take a little time, Johnny, to get a report back on them.
Good. I'll spend it profitably. Fishing. It was 2 days later that Lieutenant Phillips called and asked me to drop in on him again.
Yes, sir, your suicide had a record all right, Johnny. His name was Maury Spencer.
Maury Spencer?
Yes, sir. He used to operate up in New England along the coast, dealing mostly in fishing boats.
I see.
Haven't heard from him, or, well, that means he hasn't been caught in trouble, though, for a couple of years.
You said dealing in fishing boats,
Racket as old as the sea itself. He'd steal a boat, sneak it into a yard, repaint it, and disguise it pretty well, then pass it off on some sucker who thought he's getting a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
Must have been pretty active, too, because, well, he sure had enough aliases. Here, you look at this. Maury Spencer, alias Spencer Morrison, alias Rusty Spangler, alias Baldy Spangler, alias...
Did you say Baldy?
Oh, here, I completely forgot to show you this picture of him. This man, your suicide? Well?
Well, there is some resemblance here, but I'm not sure.
See, a little bald spot on top of his head.
I don't get it.
Now, look, Johnny, if those prints were his, this has to be him.
Of course. It's plastic surgery.
What?
If he had the record you say he had, why not plastic surgery?
Well, sure, an awful lot of crooks have done it, you know.
Now, wait a minute, though. Here in the picture, this bald spot. That body had bushy hair all over his head.
Well, I never heard of plastic surgery for that.
Captain Barney even went so far as to mention it himself, that nice head of hair. Okay, Lieutenant. Thanks a lot.
Well, where to now, Johnny?
Maybe to prove that suicide was a murder.
Oh, yes, sure. You can look at him again, but there's not much point in it any more than there is in the autopsy you suggested.
Yeah, right in here. Hope you don't mind the cold in this place.
Where's the light switch?
Right here, sir. No, sir, an autopsy would be just a waste of time.
Would it? Which drawer, Doctor?
Right here.
Well, let's see now.
Hey, there's no point in you trying to pull the hair off his head.
Isn't there?
Well,
look, Doctor.
Oh, great day. This man had himself a top piece.
That's right. A small toupee, just big enough to cover that little bald spot.
But it's such a good one.
Do you see what's under it, Doctor?
Well, that's a hole. That's a wound there in the skull, like from an ice pick or something.
Or maybe from the point of a gaff. A gaff hook of the sort of big game fishermen would use.
It could be.
Or a fishing guide. And it wouldn't necessarily have killed him instantly, would it?
In that particular spot? Well, no, sir, unless it was deeper than this seems to be. But it certainly would have rendered him unconscious.
Yes. So that he could be propped up in that old car, the engine turned on, the garage closed up, and the actual death would be, as you said it was, due to carbon monoxide poisoning.
Why, yes, sir.
Okay. How would you like to round up a couple of the boys on your police force and have them follow us?
Yes, sir. Us, Mr. Don?
Earl Poorman's with me, waiting outside in the car.
But follow you to where, sir?
Well, I thought we might take a little run down to Lemon Bay again to see Captain Barney.
And it really was a murder.
I'm afraid so, Earl.
So help me, though, Johnny, I never can figure what makes you suspicious in some of these cases.
Well, there are half a dozen things, Earl. Captain Barney himself, for instance.
Oh, how do you mean?
The old shack he lives in. Falling apart at the seams. Broken windows filled up with cardboard, and it probably hasn't been painted since he moved in.
Yeah.
Even his old wreck of a boat, in spite of the fact he depends on it for a living, held together with baling wire. And his car, that old Maxwell. Do you see what I'm getting at, Earl?
No, but go on.
He doesn't spend a cent that he doesn't absolutely have to.
Oh, no, I get the message. So he's not the type to be giving anything away, not even a fishing trip.
Right. Unless he has a purpose. In this case, he wanted me around so there wouldn't be any suspicion of him, even when he led me to that corpse on the excuse of showing me the old car. And he's the one who brought up the subject of cars, remember?
Yes, you're right, but even so, Johnny...
Other things, too. In spite of the way that he neglects the house and the boat and the car, he was very careful to replace the broken glass in the window of the garage to seal it up. Why? To hold in the exhaust fumes after he turned on that engine.
Well, that's enough for me.
I suppose I should have known I couldn't fool a smart young fellow like you, Mr. Dollar.
I don't think you really could have fooled anybody for long, Captain Barney.
No, maybe not. Kind of, I guess I didn't reckon on my conscience. And oh, dear, how it's been torturing me.
Yes, I kind of thought it would be.
Seemed like such a smart idea, having you around when I made out that I discovered his body. Such a good way to keep anybody from thinking that I could have done it. I guess I just forgot that I would always know.
Why did you kill him, Captain?
Felt I had to, Mr. Dollar. When I thought of all the people he hurt, when I knowed him down east, that is, up to New England, all the fine old fishing men he rooked and cheated, and then sweet-talked his way out of it, time after time. Then, when he come down here, as bold and brazen as he ever was, when he showed the nerve to suggest that I helped him in his filthy work. Well, don't you see, Mr. Dollar? Somebody had to stop him. Somebody had to keep him from hurting all the nice, fine people that I've gotten to know hereabouts. Well, I guess I done the wrong thing, didn't I?
Yes, Captain Barney, I'm afraid you did. Like everybody who tries to take the law into his own hands. The police will be here in a few minutes. Shall we go out and meet them?
Yeah. Guess we'd better.
I don't know. Who am I to judge? But I hope they handled the old fellow as gently as possible in spite of what he did and must pay for. Expense account total? Well, this time it's only plane fare and incidentals for the trip back to Hartford. Call it $85. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, a city held at bay by a single man with a time bomb. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is written by Jack Johnstone, produced and directed by Bruno Zerato Jr., music supervision by Ethel Huber. Johnny Dollar is played by Mandel Kramer. Also featured in our cast were Ivor Francis as Captain Barney Beale, Ian Martin as Earl Poorman, Lawson Zerby as Dr. Hill, and Jim Bowles as the police lieutenant. Be sure to join us next week, same time, same station, for another exciting story of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Art Hanna speaking. Complete. The most complete news in broadcasting is CBS News on the CBS Radio Network.
At roll 59 on your Tri-Cities dial, this is WROW Music in Albany, New York.
Many merchants and businessmen of the Capital District offer you expert services and a complete line of fine products. When you shop, we hope you patronize the civic-minded stores and institutions that display the Welcome Wagon sponsor emblem. That emblem identifies the prestige firms who are playing a vital part in the life of our community through their sponsorship of Welcome Wagon service. When the Welcome Wagon hostess pays a call, her basket contains a gift from each of these progressive firms, along with a warm greeting to the newcomers. In this way, the Welcome Wagon sponsors help to extend the welcome of the whole community to the family in its new home. If you have new neighbors, call State 59640 and give their name and address to Welcome Wagon. And if you have any question concerning Welcome Wagon service, remember that number, State 59640. It's the Welcome Wagon number.
WROW Music Time, 6:35 p.m.